Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. If I can get just some levels advice from you all before we go live. Does it sound good? Everything sound okay?
It's a yes from Raf.
That's a yes from Raf. All right, we're good. Nice. Cool. Okay then, in that case, let's crack to it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the art stream. I'm really nervous about this tonight. Really nervous. Never done anything like this before. Never shown anybody about my process or anything to do with my art. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, cool. So as you can see, I'm using Photoshop CS2. So I use software from like last decade. So that's going to be good fun. Tonight we're going to be doing new merch design, which I sketched up in my sketchbook a few weeks ago, and you know what, I just thought, hey, let's let people enjoy seeing how this comes about. So let's see how we're doing. Oh, thanks, Zoltan. Thanks for complimenting my top. I'm not going to lie, I did wear a fancy top because I wanted to get some compliments, so it worked. Right, has everyone got a drink? Is everyone enjoying themselves? I've got sugar-free energy drink, Aldi knockoff. Got some sausage rolls for a little snackaroo, as always, and we've got some nice lo-fi beats going as well. So hopefully you can all hear that, and let's crack on. Right, so Munster, yeah, it's Herman Munster. All right. So excuse me while I work my way around Photoshop. I have been today I was just talking actually about the idea of moving to a more contemporary piece of software for this kind of work, because even a more modern version of Photoshop would probably put me in good stead, but it's really expensive and I can't really justify it. So we're sticking with CS2 for now. But yeah, I'm thinking about Clip Studio, or I did think about, I mean, I might consider it. I did buy that, what's that cheap knockoff one I got, Lottie? What's that called? Affinity Studio or something. It's okay, but the thing about Photoshop is I've been using it for so long. All the shortcuts, I know them all so well. All right, so first question in the chat. Raf asks, how did I go from Sketchbook to Photoshop? Very good question. So, my Sketchbook. A smart person would have his Sketchbook to hand. I actually intended to bring it up so I could show you some sketches on camera, but
downstairs.
I think it's downstairs.
Bring it up.
Thank you. But yeah, so I do have a scanner, but I recently I've just been taking photographs using my phone, and I don't have a particularly good phone. It's like a Motorola Android device. It was like 80 quid, super cheap. But yeah, I just take photographs. As long as you take it during good light, then it usually comes out okay. And because I'm painting over the top, it doesn't really matter about the quality of the sketch. So I'm not too fussed about that. Now I noticed that we've got some perspective issues because the camera obviously wasn't perfectly flat. So what first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch the top out a little bit, which you do like this, and it'll kind of give us a bit of perspective correction. I think that's probably it. Let's bring some guides in so we can actually check our verticals. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Thank you. Let's just check these out. Oh yeah, that's looking fine, isn't it? That's looking good. Yeah, nice. Alright, good. We'll grab them out of here. Scott said he's unsubbed because it's not a synthwave. So there is, I'm using actually Scott. Big props to Scott. Oh yeah, he's just mentioned it in the chat. Big props to Scott because this is actually all due to him mentioning Alpha Gaming. What, like a week ago, Scott? And I went onto that Discord and I subscribed to that channel. And I mean, amazing. Like the fact that that person is giving out so much cool free advice and cool free content for people. I'm over the moon about it. So this is a completely copyright free playlist. You can have it playing in streams. You won't get content ID'd. It's all completely free music. And he's got a stream. He's got a vaporwave synthwave one as well. But no, I just thought some nice lo-fi beats because I was listening to it during the day and I was like, it's a bit high energy just for sort of sitting and chilling and having a little draw. So, right, first thing I'm going to do, we're going to do some levels on this just so we can make out the artwork a little bit better when we're laying over the pencil lines. So we'll just kind of get some contrast on this. To be fair, that's probably enough. You guys can see that, right? Looks like an old parchment. No, do you know what? I'm going to leave it like that. We'll leave the saturation on. It looks fun. Looks like an old, yeah, it looks like some cool old parchment thing. Yeah, it really is great. Like it really is a good resource. I'm loving that. So I'm just loving the fact that, and also the, not just the music, but like all the plugins. They do stuff for like stream elements and things like that. I don't really do too much on that front in terms of the whole like stream. I've added some extra widgets, as you can probably see, like wrote out some CSS because I'm a nerd. But yeah, I don't really do too much of that. But I just love the fact they give out so much stuff for free. I think that's fantastic. Right, so we're going to bang on a new layer, and this is what we're going to do the sketching with. So this is our over the top here, and we're going to knock out the pen lines with a nice custom brush. I do actually have one made, which I use already, which I call Ink Line. Let's have a look to see what I think that looks pretty good. Let's get right in there. Let's see what this looks like. Let's go to 100%, and then we'll see what this actual ink brush is like. Oh, yeah, it's a little broken. So I've added a bit of noise to it so that it breaks up a little bit. Yeah, that'll come out nicely. Okay, mind give us some tutorial chat on what and how you're doing. I like best practices as I limp along having to YouTube everything I want to do and still don't understand. Well, actually, funnily enough, one of the reasons I thought about doing this is because when I do anything around the house, I tend to talk to myself like I'm giving a tutorial anyway. So like I do it when I'm cooking, I pretend I've got a cooking show, and when I'm just drawing, sometimes I do tend to talk about how I do this stuff anyway. So yeah, I'll happily talk about that. I mean, so I know a lot of the Photoshop shortcuts off by heart, and I'm not sure how I might be a bit too quick, but space is the little hand, so you can grab your canvas and move around. But brushes are really fun in Photoshop. So one of the things I really like about Photoshop is the brush panel. So over here, this is the brush. You hit B to bring up your brush, but yeah, your brushes tab, it's going to be somewhere different in a new version of Photoshop, but there's tons of options, and the new Photoshop's got even more brush options. But what I like about this is this panel here, where you actually have tons of control over, how big do you want your brush to be, the jitter, there's all kinds of shape dynamics you can have, because the Wacom pen is pressure sensitive as well, so you can have the brush getting bigger and smaller depending on how hard you're pushing. That's really, really nice. But yeah, so I have made a brush that I use for everything. I use this for all like the Discord emojis that I made. I won't show you how I made it because I think that's probably a subject all by itself. A lot of people would go into quite a lot of detail on how to make a brush, but I just made a nice brush with a nice charcoal black, and this is what I use for all my outlines. Yes, so I scan in the background, and this just becomes layer 0. This becomes my background layer. All I've done is I've just boosted the levels so I can make out the sketch lines a little bit more easily, and then I create a new layer. This layer is what I'm going to lay down the ink lines with. I will then create another layer, which I will do my base colors, and I'll probably then do another layer for doing like highlights and shadows. Best practices at this point, I'm always a firm believer in have as many layers as you need. You can't really have too many layers. The files don't end up getting that big. I mean, if you end up with like hundreds of layers, I'm sure they would, but you're not going to need that many, truthfully. And name them. God, name your layers. It's the worst thing in the world when people don't. That upsets me. So make sure you give your layers names. As for deciding, I think we just need to decide where we're going to start and then just get to it. Oh, someone's showing off with CS6. I would like to, actually CS6 is the version I would like, but I only like to have things which are legit, because I do sell some artwork, so I do kind of feel like I do need to have some kind of accountability. And CS6 does look different to this, because I'm assuming you've got like the nice grey dark color scheme as well. So yeah, I imagine it's very, very different. So in my work, of course, we have like CC, and in the last place I worked, we had CS6. I've used 5.5. Like, I've used a lot of versions. The stuff that I do is really not dependent on a lot of the new tools. So there's not much of a reason for me to upgrade, truthfully. Like the paintbrush tools and so on aren't that much more sophisticated now. Like, the great thing about new Photoshop is it's got lots of like After Effects style stuff, and you can do styling and CSS from within it. So for like web design, it's a really, really cool package. But for me, I don't really need it all that much. I want it though. I do want it. But I've been using Photoshop now for probably something gross like 20 years. So it was the first piece of software that I learned how to use. I was using it in college, and that's really, oh, look at that, that was spot on. So I can't really get away from it. So what you'll notice here is one of the great things about digital painting is what you need to do over and over again is you do your lines, and then you hit Control Z, and then you do it again until you just get it. That's really good. Until you get it just right, and then you can move on. But until then, you have to obsessively just do one line and hit Control Z over and over. And I actually thought I was a real freak for doing this. And then I've watched other people, and it turns out everybody does this. So I don't actually feel that much of a freak. So I'm really pleased about that. Zoltan just asked what tablet I'm using. So I use again, not a new one. It's a Wacom. Not a Cintiq, not a fancy Cintiq. Oh, that looks pretty good. It is a Intuos 4, I want to say. It's a wireless one. It's probably one of the first ones they did that's wireless. Ironically, the battery was flat before the stream, so it's actually wired in anyway. But I love it. I love my Wacom. I've again been using that brand for a long time. I did cheap out a couple of years ago, and I got one of those like kind of cheaper OEM Chinese brands, and for the money I would say that it was actually pretty good. Oh, look at that line. Oh my god, look how good that came out. But you can't really beat the Wacom, and I'm a big fan of trying to find like ways to get over on the man, find a good cheap brand, because I don't think always that going with a brand is a good thing. But unfortunately, Wacom have sort of cornered the market on that stuff, and they are very, very good. Oh, look at that. That came out beautifully. Yeah, see, when I was in uni and all that kind of, all those years, I was pirating software left and right. And I've got nothing against it. I think piracy is brilliant. But as I said, just because I do occasionally sell artwork, that came out really good. It would be just my luck that the Federation Against Software Theft would just knock on my door and they go, "Oh, we've seen that you've sold a print on Etsy. Can we see your Photoshop license, please?" Oh, that was quite nice, that one. So one thing that's really important to me is that my lines look drawn. So I do not really want my lines to be straight and narrow. I really like them to look like they were hand drawn. The digital tool for me is a way that I can just really undo is the most important tool here, because I can just make sure my lines look really nice, but I'm not looking for perfection. You can see with the pen that I've designed has like granular noise over it, because again, I kind of want it to look like a pen. I think the actual Wacom's a bit off tonight, because it seems to be undoing a few of those lines as we're moving around. I could probably undo it and plug it back in. I might do that in a bit, but for now, to be fair, I'm quite happy. Oh, that was nice. Oh my god. Oh, that line. So it's a lot about celebrating getting a good line. That's a big part of drawing. It's a big part of digital art is celebrating and giving yourself a high five when you just get a really, really good line. Oh, that was good. And one important tip when you're painting is you'll see it later on. So newer versions of Photoshop has got the rotate canvas feature, which is one of the most significant new tools for digital painting. CS2 doesn't have it, and it's an effing nightmare. Also, Affinity doesn't have canvas rotate. You can rotate in increments. You can't smoothly rotate your canvas. So what you'll find, being right-handed and that, if there's like a specific curve that you need to get, like a specific line, you might not be able to do it. Like notice how like I can't really go that way. Like my hand just naturally doesn't like it. Whereas this way, like I'm really smooth and it's really easy. Being able to rotate the canvas makes that a lot easier. But what you'll know, later on we'll get stuck in the doldrums when I really need to do a line and it's at such a specific angle that I can't. So you can look forward to that. That's an upsetting thing to get around. But we're getting there. Man, I'm loving these beats. Right, this one. Oh yeah, so I was saying, so one of the things is you notice if you can't do a line a certain way, just try going back to front, and then sometimes it just like works so much better. Like if I just can't get that, like see I kind of go out, that's the way my hand naturally moves, but if I do it from this way I can probably more likely get that nice upward. Ah, that was almost it. Oh, look at that, look at that. Oh my god, that was amazing. Right, so all I'm using at the minute is brush and eraser. So B for brush, E for eraser, B for brush, E for eraser. The Wacom pen actually automatically, it's one of the cool things about it. If you put this end down on the tablet, it switches to the brush tool. If you put this end down, it switches to the eraser tool. And it's a really cool feature, but I'm still just slightly quicker to switch myself, so I don't often use it unless I'm showing off, really. Let's get a nice, bit pointy. I think I am going to unplug the Wacom in a second. Yeah, that's kind of nice, that was good. Also, it's important to remember that you can't rotate the tablet. That's not how it works. The tablet doesn't know what orientation it's in. So I can't tell if you're joking or not, but you cannot rotate the tablet. That makes it even harder. Right, here we go. I'm just going to catch up with some of these comments here. Oh, so Raf said buy it on the grey market. I've been trying, mate. I've been trying. If you can find a link, if you know any software resellers that are selling like any of those corporate expired licenses or anything, I will buy it. Like, I'm happy to do that. I bought my Windows license from Software Geeks. I just can't find CS licenses. So if you want to hit me up, if you have a link, mate, please do. Fully advocating that. Oh, my mic seems a little loud. What is Zolty saying? I have a Huion Canvas 20. Huion, that's the brand I got, I think. I had the Huion, whatever the wireless one was, and it was okay, but the battery was really, really low. And then after maybe a year or so of having it, the tracking just completely went. So it, like, I would move the pen, but on screen it would be like, even if I was holding the pen still, the cursor would be like drawing up the screen. So yeah, it was a shame because it was really good value. It seemed really good value. And yeah, so that was a real shame. I know, I get what you're saying, turn it like a bit of paper, but I'm telling you, man, it doesn't translate. Right, this is gonna be hard getting these flames. Right, come on. Yeah, see, I'm not doing that. I think the Wacom's doing that, so I'm gonna unplug it and let's hope it doesn't get too upset. Look at that. That's all it took. Oh no, it's back. Do you know what? Maybe it's me. Oh, that was nice. I'm going to leave that there. Do you know what? That came out. I like the way that last one was. I think I might have messed up there. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Right, come on. Let's get that bottom curve in. We just got to keep moving. You know, like sometimes things aren't perfect. Sometimes the Wacom upsets me because it's drawing this stupid wonky line. I don't know why that is, but we just have to keep moving. So now, what was Zolty actually saying? Oh, it sucks. Okay. Yeah. So I really like the look of those, like, you know, the Cintiqs with the screen and that, but they're so expensive. It's the same with the Microsoft Surface. Was it the Surface Pro 5? Such a cool looking piece of kit because it's a tablet and you can draw on it, and you know, it's got a screen and all these wonderful things. But I am one of those people, like, I absolutely fall for the idea of buying better tools makes you a better artist. Like, I love buying new pens, I love buying new paintbrushes, but truthfully, like, what you've already got is probably just as good. Oh, that came out nice. Yeah, do you know what, we can leave that. It's only a flame, so it probably doesn't need a huge amount of work anyway. That's nice. We can go. Yeah, actually, do you know what? For these flames, I think I'm going to leave. Yeah, those dotted lines are okay. They're working with us. They're not working against us. I think we can leave that in. Let's get these wicks going. Yeah, that looks nice. Joe Wicks. Oh, yeah, that came out beautifully. Don't forget, you got to congratulate yourself. Very important part. Congratulate yourself for doing a good clean line. Let's get some like little bits floating up inside the flames. Yeah, nice. Nice. Tidy. Alright, let's do some... Oh, do you know what? We'll have a quick save here. We'll save this in TGS. We'll save this in merch, won't we? What's this one called? Quality game. So we'll call this Quality Game 01. Alright. Oh, hi Sam. Thanks for joining, man. Sam says, when you're not great at anything art related, these streams are tailored to someone like me, as I get wowed all the time. Well, do you know what, Sam? I'm going to put this one out there for you. You can pick this one up if you like. Everybody is artistic. Everybody is creative. I do not believe that any one person on earth does not have an artistic streak in them. I think maybe there is like certain observational qualities maybe people have, like some people might have really good eyesight, which means they're better at capturing reality. I'm not one of those people. I also don't have the patience. I think the key is just finding something you enjoy. And for me, I love to draw, and I've had a lot of anxiety around my art over the last, I don't know, 30 years probably, about not being good enough, about looking at other people and going, oh, they're so much better than I am. Or looking at, the worst one is looking at styles of art that I am not good at, and then trying to make myself good at it because I think I should. Like, I feel like, I should be making, comic book style artwork, because that's how, because you can make money doing that. And it's a very strange thing to find yourself sort of making yourself feel ashamed of maybe what you're good at or what you're not. Another one is like doing like super hardcore digital painting. When I first got my Wacom, that was what I wanted to get good at, and it just didn't ever come to me. Like, I just never built up the skill set. And I tried, and obviously the whole thing is, everyone says, you've just got to do it more. You just got to do it more. Just be working, just be grinding, getting better at your skills. And in the end, it just made me really, really sad. So I stopped, and I just now draw the way I like, and I draw the things I like. And it turns out I have a much better relationship with my own creativity since doing that than when I was telling myself what I should be doing. Now you can imagine the pencil sketch here probably looks a lot better than I'm managing, but because these are just going to be a tiny background element, I'm not too fussed about capturing them like with any degree of reality or quality. Just want to get the forms down so that when someone looks at them, they go, that's a flower. I know what that is. Give us a zoom out. So I actually have a second monitor, and I have what I'm working on over here, and then over on my left here, I have an actual zoomed out version of the final piece so that I have an idea of where we're heading. But I can't show you both that. And I did try to get something set up on the stream so that we could show that kind of stuff off, but I couldn't get it working. I feel like there needs to be something here. Like, which way is that going to go? Maybe that way? Yeah, it looks good. That looks good. Oh, thanks, Sam. Sam says it looks great so far. I know you just got started. Yeah, you'd think that. I've been working for 20 minutes on this. These things take time. I think one of the other things as well that I had to learn is when just to go, do you know what, that's good enough. Like, just move on. Because and Lottie will attest to this, I will sometimes spend hours on a paint or on a piece of art, only for me to get to like the end of a 3-hour session, and I'm not even joking when I say 3 hours of painting, for me just to go, I don't like how it looks, and then in 20 minutes just do a very, very quick like knock some paint on and then go, that's it, that's perfect. So sometimes the energy of like getting something down quick is so much better than the laboured, forced vibe of trying to strive for perfection. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the art. You just got to get these lines done. So no one's going to look at that, because no one's, end of the day, once this goes up, no one's going to have seen my sketchbook except for you guys. So it could be drastically different from my sketchbook, actually. No one would know. Alright, there we go. We've got the candles, we've got the flowers. I'm going to save the fun stuff for a bit later on, so we're going to get some of the busy work out of the way. Flowers, etc. I am a bit fussed about that. Do you know what? That didn't look good at all. We are actually going to redo that. That is like a scrolling. Yeah. There we go. Let's get a bit of. Yeah, that's good. Beautiful. How about these beats? They're great, aren't they? You'll notice I added a what's playing widget in case any of you wanted to check out the music itself, but I realized that it's all by the same guy. So the artist's name changes every track, but it just changes to the same name, because that guy, like, bless his heart, has just worked so hard making all this stuff for free. Scott can only draw stickmen and penises. Well, that's fine. I'm pretty sure, like, there have been actual successful artists who have pretty much only ever drawn stickmen, and certainly there are artists who have only ever drawn penises. So find pleasure in what you do, and that's it. That's all there is. Don't worry about what you can and can't draw. There's a ton of stuff I can't draw. Another part of my creative journey this year actually has been just finally putting that to bed. Just finally accepting that there's a lot of stuff that I really struggle with. When I was in uni, when I was kind of on the journey to being a professional artist, I did a lot of work studying human anatomy. Like, you know, learning all the parts of the human body, learning what they look like, learning how to draw all this stuff from memory, learning, you know, musculature and skeletons, and it is kind of fun. But there are some days when I just can't do it. Like, I can't summon it up. I just can't summon the knowledge. I can't put it all together. I can't get a human pose to look right. Whatever it is. And so I just don't, frankly, I just don't do that anymore. Like, I don't worry myself so much about getting things right. I don't worry so much about making sure I can render a human body perfectly. I just go, well, let's just have fun. And most of the time I draw monsters and dinosaurs and things like that. And the reason I like to draw those things is you can't get them wrong. Nobody can say, that's not what a mummy looks like. No one can say that. No one can say, or one arm's shorter than the other. You go, dude, they're a mummy. Like, they've shrunk. I don't know, curse. Like, it gives you free reign. And I found that's a really important part of my creative process. Recently, again, it's just been not shaming myself for not being able to do certain things, but just allowing myself the freedom to do things I enjoy and not to make myself feel bad for not being able to do certain things. So who knew that this drawing stream was going to become so introspective and personal? Not me. But hey, that's how these things work sometimes. Let's get a little bit of, yeah, that's nice. So I'm not going to lie, if I wasn't on stream and it was me, just me, I would be labouring over these lines so much more. But because I'm conscious of you guys have taken the time to spend this with me and to come and watch this, I don't want to bore you by making you watch me draw the same line over and over again. So actually, this is the best thing ever, because it means I'm not overly labouring my own work. I get to actually practice what I preach. Wow. Zoltan knows an Instagram artist who exclusively draws realistic penises. I mean, can we get a link? Can we get a link to that, please? That sounds awesome. I think that should go there, and we should have a... If that feels too big, doesn't that feel like that's my pencil sketch? Oh, Lottie brought out my sketchbooks. My pencil sketch is actually probably right there, so that I could... Oh, look at that! Look how nicely that came out. Yeah, that looks tidy. Let's have a nice... That'll be a nice leaf there, I think. Yeah, but a bit bigger than usual, but that look nice. So we do that bit. Oh, did you see that line? Oh my god, is that satisfying or what? Just round that nubbin off. Look at that. Look at that. That's like a professional did that. A funny one is asking people to draw a horse from memory. I'll draw a horse right now. I'll draw a horse right now. Let's find a bit of the canvas. Let's draw a horse. Let's zoom out a little bit. Alright, horse. Their nose is like really square, right? But then they're like, their head's like that. That's like a horse, right? And they've got an eye like, well, there's the nose, and that's like a mouth bit. Where's a horse's eye? The ear. Oh my god, yeah, the ear's like there. Already, this. I reckon the eye's like there. And then it's got like the neck's kind of like this kind of shape, right? It's like, and then that's like its haunch. Kind of like, let's go rib cage, and then like the back leg, probably like that. And then how does the leg go? It's like there's like a bit like this, right? That's like its knee, that's like its ankle, and then that it's like that, right? And this is like they've got that weird little bit. All right, this is, I don't know what's going on here. And then it's got like a front, like that, kind of like front shoulder. And then I reckon then this leg goes like that way. So like the opposite of the back leg. And then probably like you do a coy little, ooh, hello, coy little leg like that at the front. And then like that's just, you know, no one cares about back leg. And then the tail's like this shape, right? It's like square on the end. It's been, I mean, I know it gets cut differently, but then there's that, and then there's like the mane. It's like that. Goes down like that, and then like Big, yeah, there you go. Horse. Horse, mate. Done. I feel like the proportions might be a bit off. The head's huge. Let's tidy this bad boy up. No, do you know what we need? Let's go over here. Let's get a picture of a horse. Let's compare. Horse. Images. You ready to see how... Oh, mate. Look at this. Look at this bad lad. Copy. Oh, he's a bit big. Oh, I didn't get the... Look how shiny the legs are. I should have captured that in the sketch, shouldn't I? Look at that. It's like looking in a mirror. So, I mean, I wasn't too bad. Like if I make his head a bit smaller. Oh God, no, not like that. Shift. Oh my God, look how different the eyes were. Look at this. I was like, the eyes are here. The eyes are like here. And his ears are like up the top. All right, so there you go. That's slight edit. Oh my God, look how much more of a horse that looks now. Neck's about right. Legs are a bit too fat. But I feel like, do you know what? It's not a bad horse, is it? It's not a bad horse. Let's get rid of that. Not needed. Back to the live chat. Horse merch. Yes, mate. Who wants to buy a horse shirt? Ah, yeah, good. To be fair with you, the chat is jumping way ahead of me, so I'm gonna try and catch up when I can. But you seem to be having a fantastic time. Yeah, that was good. I'm glad you had a good time. All right, let's crack on with these flowers. I reckon we might be a bit too far. I think sometimes you can get a bit too zoomed in. All right. Oh my God! Did you see how? Oh my God! These lines. Zooming out. Look at this. It has opened up a whole new world. A whole new world. Zooming out has made it better. No, that was shameful. That last bit. Yeah. Oh my God. Zoom out. If anyone wants some top tips, if your art isn't working, zoom out. Just zoom out. Oh yeah, Discord voice chat is open, by the way, if anyone wants to join. Lottie was in there earlier. Ooh. Oh mate, I didn't even mean for that line, but I'm going to embrace that and add a little more. I saw, Lottie, you put something earlier about working fast. I didn't see what you'd put, but I'm assuming you were saying working fast is sometimes good. Because I'm actually loving kind of just getting this done. I think this is much better for me. And I think the art benefits from me just kind of having a bit of pace. Oh, that was beautiful. Yes, look at that. One thing that as well, here's a thing that I try not to do. I try not to ever have lines meeting like this. So that just happened there. I'm going to let that one fly. But what I don't like is if you have like overlapping lines, I like to make sure that there's like room for every line. So when like if I had two petals and they met like that, somehow I just don't think that looks good. So I like to have just everything with a little bit of room and a little bit of breadth. But that came out looking nice, so I'm going to let that one fly. I also don't like if you accidentally have two vertical lines that are unrelated and they meet perfectly. I might be able to show you an example of that, but if I were to say, like, if you were drawing, like, I don't know, I'm going to have to just think of something. Like, if I drew Mario coming out of a pipe. Actually, that's a bad example, because if I had the pipe like this, and if I wanted to draw, like, I don't know, some guy stood on top of the pipe, and part of his body the line ended up like this, I'd be like, that won't fly, because it now looks like it's part of it. It either needs to be too big or too small. Like it can't meet the line dead on. You need to have a difference so that those two forms don't become one. They feel separate. That's not actual art advice. Nobody ever taught me that in no art school or nothing. That's just my own personal conviction, because it makes my eyes happy. And I think that's one of the most, probably, Do you know what I'm going to say? It's the most important advice of all. Like, you are your best critic. You know what looks nice. You know what you like. And so it's good to kind of judge your own work on that merit. Just, do you like it? What's going on up with this bit here? Where are we going? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, into there. Yeah, let's get some. Yeah, good. Yeah, lovely. Little petal. Little leafy. Something. Don't know what. Do you know what? I feel like that's just going to go there now. We're going to ignore that sketch line. And then we're going to add a. Yeah, that's nice. End that form there. So this moon is going to be a nightmare. I'm just telling you that now. Yeah. But you know what? That came out nice. We've got the let's get another little zoom out. So we've got the flowers. We've got the candles. Now, you see that there's no detail here on the candles because I already know when I paint this, it's just going to go like black or like just a solid colour. So that's why there's no detail on the bottom half of the candlesticks. We're going to try and do a nice glow. Somehow try and get a glowy subsurface scattering render on those candlesticks. Probably won't get there, but yeah. Is Zoltan posting in the Discord his own art? Because he did tell me that he likes to draw. Is he usurping my own art stream to promote his Instagram? Absolutely unacceptable. All right, let's draw these bats. These guys are fun. We need to be out a little bit for this. This is going to be all kinds of. Oh, is it me or is the Wacom just started behaving itself? Seems that way, right? Yeah, look at that. Ooh, oh no, it's still misbehaving. All right. Shouldn't have pushed my luck, should I? Oh, look at that one. That was a beaut. No, come on. Ooh. Yeah, we take that. We'll take that. Keep moving. Oh my gosh, look at that. That came out beautifully. Yeah, do you know what? Look at that. Look at the way that curves. Oh, that's so nice. So good. Now that there's competition, capitalism breeds innovation. Is that what we're saying? Yeah, do you know? Oh, that's nice. I like the way that line changes direction. So that's another one I want to talk about, is from a painting perspective. It's really interesting when a line goes not just that way, but when it goes two ways, when it changes direction. It's it feels very natural. It feels very organic when lines do this. So even if I was drawing a bigger bat, I wouldn't do its wing like this. I would somehow try to find a way to bring its wing out like that. Like just find ways to, and it doesn't even make it look more realistic. It just makes it more visually interesting. I think it's not even a thing about it looking realistic. It's just about looking visually appealing. I like lines that go a little bit wayward. Oh, look at that ear. Look at the way the noise came out on the pen there. That was great. Yeah, beautiful. He's going to be solid black. Bit of comic book art for you there. Comic book, I'll do an X when it needs to be solid black. Oh, that came out. That was nice. That was a nice start. These bats are a really good exercise in congratulating yourself. Oh, did you feel that coming out? Oh my god. Whew. Is it getting hot in here? Is it just me? Do you know what? This would be a good. Yeah, look, this would be a nice changing direction. This would be a good way to. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at there's a real velocity in that line. That's great, that. And we'll add a little. Like that side doesn't have it, but we'll have a little. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's that equivalent. So then we're gonna. Oh, do you know what? I'm leaving that. I'm not even going to undo that. That was accidentally fantastic. Yep, look at that. Lots of congratulation here. So what I'm going to try and do here, there's got to be a little thumb, a little bat thumb. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do the same thing again with a nice sort of changing. We can do better. I want to get a really big, like thin to thick. It needs to be thin here and then thick at the top. Get that kind of sensation. No, that was nearly it. Maybe we'll go from this way inward. Oh no, look at that. Look at the control. I always go... Actually, look, I get it really bulbous when I go that way. That might be just it. Come on, Wacom, work with me here. I reckon there's always going to be a kink when I go from left to right. There's like an unnatural feeling kink. See how I want to get my line more up here? Like here? Like this? Yeah. Oh. When this lands, and you know it, it's going to be such a good moment. This is going to be like... It's going to be like Daigo Omihara doing the... like all the parries on Third Strike. You know, that big gif? That's it. That's it. Look at that. Look at that line. Oh my... Look at that. Well done, everyone. We did it. We did it, gang. Keep a little noise there. Keep that sharp end as well. That looks great. Oh, well done. Well done, everyone. Thanks for believing in me. And we're going to just add a thumb. But we need to kind of... Yeah, it's going to be like that, right? It's going to be like a little nubbin. That's it. That's it. We need to come in here with the... We're going to get real small. Just so we can tuck out this little bit of... Oh, that's not it. That's the wrong tool. Oh, tasty. Look at that. Line thickness is a nice one. I really like to see lots of different line thicknesses, but it's hard. It's... Oh, look at that. That was really beautiful. I think because I like thick outlines as well, so it's hard for me to... Look at that, that's nice. I like a bit of that. It's hard to kind of do everything at once, you know, trying to get nice disparity of line thickness, also have nice thick lines. Can't do everything, and you shouldn't make yourself feel bad when you can't. All you can do is what you can do. That's really nice. I'm going to give him some eyes though. Some nice, like, ooh, nah. Maybe like almondy. Oh. Do you know what? That's so good. I don't think I'm even going to try and do that again. I'm just going to select that with L, with the lasso tool. I'm trying to remember the shortcut. Alt click and drag to clone it, and then we're gonna edit, transform, flip horizontal. But what we are going to do is we're just going to shrink it a little, because we can't have things being symmetrical. Like, that's not what this is about. So we're going to just rotate him a little. Yeah, look at that. That's a bat, isn't it? Right, so yeah, Raf's asking how's the tablet work. Yeah, so all of them work the same way. So it gets location data from about an inch and a half above the actual tablet. So about maybe like the first digit of your finger. And it works by RFID, so it just sends out a signal, I think, and it pings back. And then the actual nib registers pressure, so that's what sends back. So the direction, like, isn't the movement of the mouse, doesn't matter how high, it doesn't matter if it's touching. It's only, so I imagine actually if I pushed here, yeah, so that's not actually on the, that's just my finger. That's cool. Never done that before. So you don't need to push very hard at all. You can be very, very soft. And one thing that I am not very good at because I'm not good at being soft with the Wacom. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but can you see that's sharpened into a point? They're not supposed to be like that. It's rounded. It's like a felt tip pen. But that's from the kind of, because I push a little too hard. So that's from too much pressure. But the good news is you can buy replacement nibs and they're really cheap. So the good news is I haven't ruined this hardware forever. Oh, look at that line. That was just, while I was chatting, I just knocked out an absolute banger. Does that look? Yeah, that looks okay. Got to make sure it's like, yeah, that's, oh my god, that was so good, that one. Alright, and here's the castle. That was pretty much perfect. I don't want to disturb. Yeah, that was great. Look at that line. So this is just a background element, so it doesn't need to be. Oh, doesn't need to be, but it can be perfect. Look at that. So things like this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a straight line down here. Then I'm going to do that, and then we'll erase that line, because I think trying to do those lines separately, get them to match up afterwards, it's a fool's errand, and the technology gives you the tools so that you don't have to do things like that. That's spot on. Oh, look at the way the Wacom kind of already gave us. I'm tempted to leave that exactly as it is. Do. Matt, who, what would you say your biggest art influences, as in artists, concepts, etc.?
Bob
Now
Ross,
that.
of course.
Oh, hello. Who's this?
It's Scott.
Hello, Scott. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good.
I'm just going to turn you up. You sound really quiet.
I'm trying to be quiet because it's a chill stream. I don't want to be shouting around like some sort of dumb American. And all that crap.
Go for it, man.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Don't forget to ring the bell. Thanks for joining, man.
Thank you for, crashing your stream.
Well, it's an experiment. It's the first time we're going to do.
But I was in earlier and I was getting mad feedback on the mic.
You were spitting mad bars on the mic.
Yeah, that could just be me, because I'm an idiot.
So what was it? Is it because you could hear me twice or something?
I think something like that, but
Okay.
it's probably because I've also got the stream open in front of me, so maybe that's
Probably it's that, and it will be worse because the stream will be slightly behind. Whoa! Look at that! Look at that line. So yeah, Lottie, you asked who my favourite art influences are.
Yeah.
Obviously, what I love is that, but you're asking me for the purposes of the stream. So thank you. My favourite illustrator of all time is Mike Mignola.
The amazing Mike Mignola.
Yeah, he is just absolutely masterful at exactly what he does, and that's why I like him. Like, he could do different things, but he's got such a recognisable style, and his line work, his colour work, it's all just so uniquely him. Unfortunately, Mike Mignola has a bit of a questionable.
Yeah, it's hard to like him at the moment.
It's hard to like him. It's hard to like him. He's got a problematic history.
Kill your heroes and all that.
Yeah, but I have Mike Mignola prints on my wall, and I have a lot of Mike Mignola books, which I'm not going to get rid of because the art is still inspiring, despite whether or not he. Hey, Zoltan! Thanks, man.
Remember now.
Zoltan's a channel member.
Well done, Zoltan.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. You are the first. You are the first to ever do it. I was actually going to mention it tonight. This is the first time we've opened up channel memberships. I actually did that earlier today because I don't want to do Patreon. I don't want to do anything like that. But I think channel memberships is kind of fun because you can actually do interesting things with it. So yeah, cool. You can now use all the cool emojis that I drew. Yeah. Oh mate, I'm absolutely gassed about that.
Well done.
We'll just
That's cool. That's one more than I've got.
Hey, you've got at least one patron though, right?
Yeah, one.
Yeah. I bet that patron's a really cool person though.
Yeah, probably.
So, Mike Mignola.
Yeah. Other than him, Jack Kirby. Kirby's a master, like an absolute master. He's the old god. If you don't like Jack Kirby's artwork, then you don't like art, my friend. As simple as that. But
I have any, to be honest. No, the only one I probably would say I appreciate his art is Yoji Shinkawa.
it's
The cover art and all that stuff for Metal Gear.
so the Metal Gear. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Have you seen Leonardo da Vinci's video on that?
Yes.
Really good. Oh, Raf's just become a channel member as well.
Raf's become a member of his own channel.
He's become a member of his own channel. What an absolute legend. Thanks, mate. Look at that. We're absolutely crushing it tonight. Right, this is coming out really nice. This is coming out really not right. So I'm going to have to do this. Here he is. There's Scorch on the voice note. Right, so I'm going to have to do this moon. And here's the thing. So I could just draw a shape. It would be really easy here for me just to get the ellipse tool and just draw. Oh, hang on. Go back up. Just draw the oh, it's too big, isn't it? That's why it's mucking about. But I could do that. But you know what? I'm not going to do that because I like all my lines to be painted. Oh, Scott. Scott.
All right. You're paying me for that sub.
Yeah, all we're doing is we're just reciprocating each other's
Fucking
pound.
that quid.
Here he comes. Right. But I like all my lines to be painted because I like everything to look consistent. And that's weird, probably. But we're going to try. We're going to try.
There's obviously no way I would think so.
Yeah, well, that's very kind of you. But what we're going to do is I'm going to start a new layer here just for the purposes of doing this moon. You ever seen that YouTube video of that guy who can just do perfect circles? Yes, Scott's on the sausage roll emoji. I've got them here. I've got them here
brilliant.
ready. Yes,
I wondered
here
if
they
you
are.
had that on.
Sausage roll cold.
Right, and all we're going to try and do is we're going to try and do just the most perfect, beautiful circle you've ever seen. Oh, that was close. You see how that came out really well. I don't know what's up with those broken lines. Like, blimey, look how well that came out.
Good evening. Hello.
Hello, mate.
Hey, Rab.
Hi,
Thanks for becoming a
how you
channel
doing?
member.
Oh, I know. And I sort of posted it through and it just came straight through the letterbox here in my house.
Yeah.
Got to spend money to make money, yeah, Rab?
Speculate to accumulate.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I
Let's
just
see what
wanted
happens
to
if
say,
I
Matt,
do
you did a
this.
line on a bat earlier, and I don't know if it was muscle memory, but it was absolutely perfect. And you
Yeah?
control Z. You control Z.
Oh, I hate when Matt does that. I absolutely hate when Matt does that. Because, like, obviously, Matt won't be happy with his lines until he's got the right line, obviously, because it's
Yeah.
Matt. Whereas I'll be like, that line is perfectly fine. What is wrong with that line? Like, we've had genuine arguments about this about Matt drawing a line and then rubbing it out. And then I'll be like, what was wrong with that line? And he'll give me a very detailed list about what was wrong with that line, and none of it will make sense.
Have you seen that Eddie Izzard sketch where they're trying to come up with Engelbert Humperdinck stuff?
Yeah, Slim Dibber.
Yeah, it was like that because he did about 7 or 8 in a row where it remove, and then it was like the 6th out of like the 10 was perfect, but you'd already gone too far forward.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that happens a lot.
Right,
That has happened a lot.
Yeah. No, go back one.
Right, so this looks... Yeah, see, Zolty's pointing out I can warp the circle, and he's absolutely right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I'm going to, like, make it a bit more circular. Then I'm going to... Let's see if I can, like... Jury rig. Oh, that looks dangerous. That's terrible. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. My problem is the Wacom is not letting me do a consistent line. It's like doing this weird thing where it like won't do. Let me just see if I change just to a different brush. Like, will it? No, there's something up with the brush. No, something up with the Wacom tonight.
Engineering point of view, put down a saucer, draw around it.
Yeah.
Right on the computer screen. Just
No, but that's the thing. That's exactly the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Isn't that I don't want a perfectly round circle. I could just draw a circle using the vector tool. What I want is a nice hand-drawn looking circle.
Paper plate then.
How many do you reckon you've drawn now?
Don't know. 50? Oh. That's a consistent circle. So we're just going to use that. Because what we can do, that looks about right. And then we can go edit, transform, warp, and then we can actually just take this up and we can make this. And this bottom bit here actually doesn't matter what that looks like because you're not going to be able to see it. So that's the circle. That's it. Look at that.
That's it. Move on.
That's the moon. That's the moon. Let's move on.
That's the moon.
All right, now we'll get the. And we'll just call that moon outline.
Moon outline
moon.
final.
Moon line, and then we'll just lock that. Actually, no, I don't want to lock that because I need to delete some stuff from it. Do. Oh, that was really good. That worked out really well. See what I mean when I said earlier about how when two lines intersect and I don't like it? Look at the way that petal there intersects with the moon. It's now, they've become the same line. And that's unacceptable.
Is that making you unhappy?
It's unacceptable. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go back into warp and we're just going to bring that in.
Just boop it a bit.
Just boop it. And now, look, now it's two consistently different shapes. It doesn't have to be by a lot, but otherwise it just makes my brain itch and I can't have that feeling.
I think you had a similar thing when you were working on my Edgar Allan Poe tattoo. You were complaining about lines intersecting with the flowers. That was a completely different part of my life as well. So I was like really not comfortable with my artwork at that point. So that was an interesting thing that I managed to actually get some work done. I love it.
Look at that.
So cool.
I'm really pleased with this. Really pleased with this. Got the moon. Yeah, love it.
What is obviously this is perhaps only insight that I'm going to be aware of because obviously I live with you and have done for quite some time.
Yeah.
But you are so much quicker and more confident with your art than you were even I think a year ago.
It's only because I've got people to show off to on the stream.
You reckon?
Yeah, look at that. I'm going to leave that like that because I think
all your mates are here and you're bragging.
Yeah, a little bit. It is a little bit. Also, I've got 3 channel members now, so like I'm a big time YouTuber, so you can't talk to me like this. Do you know who I am? I'm gonna start emailing restaurants asking for free reservations. Excuse me, I'm an influencer. I think I should be allowed to come on, have some free dinner.
Email Mama Rose's in town.
Yeah. So hang on, Zoltan just asked something. Oh, I designed a tattoo. Yes, I did, and Lottie got it done. The crazy idiot.
I'll take a photo of it and I'll pop it on the Discord sometime tomorrow. But it's a very cute story. It's very coupley, so I do apologise if it's going to gross anybody out. But Matt and I have we just wanted to get tattoos for each other, but we didn't want to get like coupley tattoos because that's gross. So I have a tattoo. We're both really into horror, gothic horror especially. Matt more into like science fiction horror. Whereas I'm into quite kind of gothic-y horror. So I have a tattoo that he drew of Edgar Allan Poe, and Matt has a tattoo of H.P. Lovecraft.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
It's a Mike Mignola drawing of H.P. Lovecraft.
I love how you drew mine, but you wouldn't like commit to yours.
I tried to draw my own, but it was so
He's got a weird face. I think he's got a weird face.
Who has a weird face?
H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh no, but it's also just it's weird for me to draw my own tattoo. I think it's very, very strange. I've tried it, But yeah, I'm a bit too fussy. I'm just going to refer back to my sketch here. Some bits I can't quite make out on this moon. So here's my original sketch, everyone. Can you make that out? Yeah, there you go. That's one of the biggest size sketches I've ever done, really. Don't tend to work very big. Okay, so let's just.
That recently as well.
Yep. You know, we all just move through this world, don't we? We just move through life. We get better at some things. Perhaps we get worse at others. Always learning, always improving. So here, these little lines are actually other bats. So this is where you do the classic little bird. Everyone, the last V bird. Everyone likes them. And I'll do some that are the other way up. Yeah, that's good. And then this is going to be a bit of a bigger. That'll do. That's nice. Yeah, good. Good. And I'll just put some... Don't know if that will come out, but yeah, there you go. Let's have another little zoom out. Mate, that's looking choice. Choice. Let's hit Control S on that. Yeah, Zolty. I love line art as well. I like pen and pencil. That's really what I like. I like to sketch stuff out, and then I like to do the line art. I suck at shading. I suck at inking. And I suck at colouring. So I choose not to do many of those things, because just bottom line, do what you love and try not, don't do what you don't. So tonight we're going to do some colouring, and I'm enjoying it more. I'm doing more colour work, but my whole journey really lately with my art has just been like just stop making myself feel so bad all the damn time. Like, just do things you like, do things you're good at. And if you're not good at other things, just don't worry about it. Just move on. All right, here we go. Oh, that came out nice. Oh, yeah, that looked good. That looks good. What I like to do when I do teeth is I like to kind of give it this perspective. So look, some of the teeth are in front of the others. Yeah, look, that came out great. I stole that straight from Mike Mignola. He does this thing with monster teeth, and they always look so good because he does that thing where the teeth they're going in front and behind of one another, and it's not a thing that you necessarily think of drawing or a style that you think of doing, but like by having this tooth go behind this one. Oh, look how good does that look? Not my idea, so I can say that. It's not egotistical. I'm saying someone else had the foresight to do that, and I'm just copying. Alright, I'm going to delete that because we need to tuck that underneath there. The thing about teeth is they are at least a little bit symmetrical, aren't they? So yeah, that looks nice. Let's get some kind of cracks or something. Maybe one.
I may have missed it. What's the X's about?
Oh, that's just where I'm planning to make it black when I do the colouring. That's what they do in comic books. They just draw an X when they want the inker to make it all black. So it's just a reminder. It's just for fun, really. Just showing off. Let's do that. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, look. Oh my God, look how good that came out. Always congratulate yourself for a good line. Do you ever do that, like when you edit as well? When you get a really good edit, Scott, do you ever just go, God, that's great, that?
Scott's gone.
Oh well, fair enough.
What's that? Did you hear that? If I mute, I'm going to mute now and then unmute. Do you hear it on the stream? Listen. Did you hear that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I heard one where Scott just dropped out. That was
okay.
the only reason I knew.
Yeah, there you go. It's also one thing I sometimes tend to forget, is when you think about how big something's actually going to be. So I sometimes will sit and labour over a detail, and then I'll realise that actually when this is printed, that will be completely, like, it'll be so small, no one will be able to even see it. So just oh, look how good that came out. Just get over it and move on. Do you know what? I'm leaving that. That came out beautifully. We'll do some... Oh, look at that. Yep, lovely. Sometimes you just have to just acknowledge when it just comes out nice. Do you know what? That was so good, I'm going to leave it. So I noticed that Zoltan just called me out for, that's nice, and then erasing it. Yep, I definitely do that. Raf said earlier about the bat. So I will sometimes do a line, but I'm so used to just line Control Z, line Control Z, line Control Z that I'll undo a good line just because it's part of the muscle memory of the action of what I'm doing. Oh, that came out really well. Let's try and... Yeah, that's nice. That's fine. Leave that a bit thicker. That's good. So what I was talking about earlier, so this exact line here, the kind of angle that I'm at, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this very nicely. Oh, shut my mouth. That came out beautifully. It's just down to just the natural angles of like the things that you're capable of doing. There is a biological limit to some things that you know, some things you can do, some things you can't do. Oh, that was nice. That can't knock that. That was a great line. Let's take that out. Up to there. Take that out there. Yeah, that's coming on beautifully. Yeah, look. See, this is really the key of good. See, I fanny around so much, and really, you realise that the best lines are those ones. Just really nice, smooth, organic lines. And you can take your time with them. Look at that. Look how well that came out. That's just some dashes, and let's kind of yeah. Oh, look at that. Then skulls probably look like that, don't they? It's so easy to get caught up, and I always think there's like when you see a line like this, there's like actual energy in the line. There's like real life in it. It feels alive, it feels real. Whereas sometimes I notice I get caught up and I look at, actually that looked quite good, but it was bumpy. I get caught up when I'm stuck on a fine detail, and I'll zoom out and it won't even look good because there's no energy in the line. It's too fine, it's too laboured. So trying to get that, just get that spontaneous, energetic feel. And obviously the irony is, the harder you try, do you know what that will do? The harder you try, the harder it is to keep hold of. Like a bar of soap, the harder you squeeze it, harder it is to keep hold of. So I think that skull wants to go like, oh my god, that was just perfect. See, like this here is my favourite bit I drawn all night. Because the energy in that was just so good. And I'm glad because that's the focal point of the image. So it needs to be the best bit. But yeah, just look how beautifully they're coming out. Look how nice that is. And I'll sit, and, you know, like these flowers are okay. And this moon's nice. I like the castle because it's in it. And the bats are really good because I've got quite a bit of energy in them. But yeah, like if I get too stuck down, like it just ends up feeling flat. It ends up feeling boring. So don't spend too long on stuff. Also, finished is a lot better than perfect. You can spend your whole life trying to, oh my god, look how good that came out. Spend your whole life trying to get something perfect and you may never get it done. And so no one's ever going to see it. No one's ever going to know how hard you worked. And it's much better So just get it done. And maybe make your next thing a little bit better. But rather than trying to make this one thing perfect, just get it done. That's coming out beautifully. Oh, look at that. Look at the thickness, the disparity in that line. Yeah, let that. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with how that nose came out. I didn't look up skeleton noses when I did this sketch. I'm pretty sure this bit here is probably anatomically incorrect, but it just felt good in the sketch, so it stayed in. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. Oh wow, Zolty giving me those big compliments. Oh look, that we're leaving that. Bob Ross actually is a genuine inspiration. I know, like, we joke about Bob Ross and he's a bit of a meme. I was 15 when I first saw a Bob Ross show, and I was around my Uncle Patrick's house, and he'd had too much to drink. And we were it was like quite late at night, and we were just like flicking through the TV channels trying to find something funny to watch on the telly. And we just found this Joy of Painting I think in those days it would have been Discovery Home and Leisure. And at first we just thought it was really funny because it was just a program, like it was obviously a very old show. Bob Ross had a big afro and he was white, and it was just like, it was funny, and also it was about painting, and it was like, it was quite cool. So we watched it, like ironically watched a Joy of Painting video, and then another one came on, and so we watched that again. And then I would say this happened for the next few times I would go around my Uncle Pat, and I used to go around his house quite a lot at that age, and this then became a completely regular thing, and then it lost all irony, and now, like, fast forward 20 odd years, we still talk fondly of watching Bob Ross videos together, like watching it on the television. And yeah, there's no trace of irony anymore. I legitimately find Bob Ross so inspirational. The idea that
I wasn't sure if you was aware, but it's on BBC 4 twice a day.
I was not aware that it's on BBC 4.
It's been on BBC 4. 104 episodes in a row have been on at the moment.
That's brilliant.
Because I watch it on BBC 4. It's on at 7:30, and then it's like they put one on later on at night, every night.
That's so great.
How bad's that?
That's great.
If you go on the TV guide right now, next on BBC, 22 episodes listed as next on for the next 22 days.
That's great.
There we go.
That's amazing.
He does do a lot of very similar pictures.
Oh yeah.
I do watch it. They're all the water of the mountain.
Yeah, and the trees.
But then he does them in one hit, and then he does it every episode and finishes bang on 28 minutes.
Yeah, you
So
can't knock
good.
that.
One of the ones the other day didn't quite finish it, and he just went, "We'll finish that up another time." It's just like, brilliant, yeah, good guy.
Yeah, so he learnt his style of painting from another fella who has a series called Anyone Can Paint, and it's the same thing. And the trick is it's learning certain techniques that are really easy to reproduce. So that's Bob Ross's secret, is anybody, and you see people do it all the time, don't they? Like, people paint along. There's like a thing on Reddit, and anybody can knock out a painting and have it look almost as good as a Bob Ross, because there are some universal techniques, and this isn't undermining anything the man did, because obviously he's incredible, but it's those repeated motifs, like learning how to paint that tree. You can now paint a tree every single time you try. You can paint a tree. You can paint a mountain every single time you try. And it's really great stuff. I really believe that art is an accessible thing that everybody can do, and I think Bob Ross proved it. And I'd love to kind of channel some of that vibe. So if I am tonight, I'm really happy. Beat the devil. See, we all know Bob Ross. We all know it, and isn't that just the best thing in the world? Like, I mean, Bob Ross, unfortunately, he passed away. He wouldn't have been comfortable in the last few years of his life. But if he could know the impact he would have on people, I'm sure he would be a very happy man.
It's nice when his son took over as well.
Yeah, I love it when they introduced his son. His son was really young when he first got introduced, and then like you fast forward 10, 20 years, whatever, his son takes it up Fantastic. Love it. We've got some chat about art anxiety in the chat here. And yeah, I think a lot of art anxieties are based on what other people would think, based on worrying about whether other people will like it, based on whether, you know, how other people will react. And I think for me, it's a lot about myself. I put myself down because I compare myself to other people way too much. And that's a really damaging thing. Comparison is a thief of joy, right? And so, yeah, we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be doing that. But yeah, you do need to enjoy it. You need to have a good time, because if you're not having a good time, find a better hobby. Plaque sketch. So here's the thing, right? So here's it will be really hard for me to draw this straight line. It's just not going to happen. So the reason I started a new layer is because what I can comfortably do is this. I can just comfortably, consistently draw a straight line. There you go. And now I can just Control T. I can just put that where it needs to go. So I still get, because you know I said I like to have everything looking like a hand painted line. So I still get the quality of that. Look at that, that's nice. Oh, that's copying too much, so we're going to flip that. There we are, now those lines are equal and opposite, which is just what we want. Let's put them down together into a nice happy home. Probably be, oh no, it doesn't, it looks like I can probably get the verticals. Oh yeah, look at that came out really nice. Yeah, I'm so happy with those. Now, rounded corners. How many times do you reckon I'm gonna have to try these? Oh, that was nearly perfect. Oh, you could see the beginning and the end of that one actually was perfect. You've got to move quick as well. That's the way you get those nice organic curves, is to move quick. So you've got to get this like... I'm zoomed in too far, aren't I? I'm zoomed in too far. Do you know what I should probably do? Probably just do this. And then just shrink it in. That's probably it, isn't it? That's probably it. I should now take that. Probably shrink it a little. That's about as good as it's going to get, right? Oh, actually, that looks pretty good. Yeah, look at that. That looks great. And we're just going to delete this out. And then no one will ever know we didn't draw that in perfectly. There you go, see? I could have, and I think this is the great thing. This stream has given me the freedom to do this, because I think I could have quite easily laboured over that for a really long time. And ultimately, nobody's going to care. That looks fine. That looks really, really good. So we're just going to copy that another 3 times. Oh, good. I'm glad that works out as a tip for you, Zoltan, because I was saying, I think for me, the appeal of digital art is I like my art to look traditional, because I like traditional techniques. I like pencils and I like pens. For me, the advantage of digital is just the additional tool set, like being able to undo, being able to transform, being able to do things like that. And that's really what's helped me most with art when it comes to the digital stuff. So I do hope that was a good tip. I hope you enjoyed that one. That's how I do, because as I said, I don't like to use vector tools. I like to have everything looking like it was drawn. Let's do a little line there. Oh, do you know what? Perfect. It's just a funny thing. Like, I don't think many people would notice, but again, sometimes you have to satisfy yourself with your art, and that's something that satisfies me, is knowing all my lines are actually drawn. I like the thick and thin quality that you get. So let's tidy them up. Oh, that's the skull. Okay. Do 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 do. Teddy Roosevelt said comparisons to Thief of Joy. I knew it was a president. I would have guessed, I think. I would have guessed Roosevelt. I didn't know it, but I would have guessed that. By the way, hello. Has been is now 89. Welcome to the chat. I didn't say hello. I saw you comment earlier, and I apologise for not reading that out sooner. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the art stream. I hope you have a wonderful time with us here tonight. Yeah, so there you go. That's coming on nicely. That looks pretty good. We're going to choose some colours at some point. We're almost done with the outline. I'm feeling like some kind of hot neon vibe, maybe. I've seen a few other pieces of work out there that fill that vibe, and I think we could go for something like that. I think that could be fun. The moon obviously needs to be red, like that. That's a given, right? That's definitely going to happen. Right. I'm unsure about having these spikes on the edges now. I'm going to add them, but I'm unsure about whether I want them there. Oh, look, see? Look at the way that touched. I didn't like that at all. That line can't... Yeah, look, much better. If this line gives me more jip, I'm going to do a straight one and then transform it in. There you go, that's it, that's the one. Well, I for one am really glad that I chose to stream tonight. I chose to do this art stream. I was getting really nervous and really anxious about delivering this. Oh no, that's okay. We can leave that there like that. But this has been really fun. Oh, you're still about, mate?
I'm still here.
Good man.
Got the footballer in the background.
Good man.
Why was you anxious or nervous?
I've never shown anybody my art process before. I don't actually like people watching me draw.
We drew up a pretty nice Mario Kart map before. You showed me that.
Oh mate, I still have that on my desktop. I could show that tonight on the stream. That'd be brilliant.
I think that one
3 sheets to the wind.
I think we saved that one for like a big occasion.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from it. That's the
10-year anniversary next year, mate.
No, more like some sort of big political thing, trying to take the noise off us. Look at this. How do you think that's bad?
Okay, fair enough.
Do you know what I was thinking about? Do you know my internet's pretty bad?
I do know that,
even
yeah.
if I streamed, which I'm all right with, as in I don't mind it because I prefer that to face-to-face things, I suppose, which is a bit odd. But
okay.
Some of my puzzles that I do. I like some of the weird Sudokus, which have got weird rules and that, and I like just sitting there doing them. I thought, do you know what? We'll all do a puzzle together. We'll do something hard. But then I also thought, no, because there really is the chance of you looking like an absolute moron.
I saw there was that fella on YouTube who does all those Sudokus and puzzles, and it's really compelling.
He's Cracking the Cryptic. Is that fella?
That's him, yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of puzzle stuff in general is actually quite popular if you're into that sort of thing. In the same way that arts and drawing, if you are an artist or you like doing it, you probably know quite a few fellas that like doing that. So there's a few puzzle sort of people. there's the weird Rubik's Cube ones as well, which are doing like the the 16 by 16s, which you've got like more moves than like a chessboard and stuff. Trying to figure them out, it's taken them like months. But I thought, I don't know, still number puzzle. But then I also thought, no, I don't really fancy it being. I think the chance of being, firstly, someone just looking up the solution and spoiling it, and then secondly, there's nothing to cover you, is there? There's a really obvious solution and you're not seeing it, and everyone else has got it.
Surely that's the fun of it. Everyone's at home shouting at their TV screens. It's like Crystal Maze, isn't it? When they're trying, I know the answer, you idiot.
Yeah, but the Crystal Maze, the thing is, unless you're tweeting at them, they don't get to hear it. Whereas someone else just go on, just tell me the answer, and everyone has got it, and then they go, we found this on the big book of kiddies puzzles.
Words sketch.
Has says, I used to know a guy who would make jigsaw puzzles and then transfer them onto a card and mount them on the wall. He said he made them because he couldn't draw.
Wow.
It looked really cool. I have got two in the room I'm in at the moment. I've got one jigsaw puzzle hanging up, which was the Daft Punk one, which they only made 50 of, and then in one of the bathrooms I have another puzzle, and I suppose it's because I couldn't figure out art that I particularly liked, but I still like these puzzles, but they were a bit, I don't know.
It's DIY art, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very personal taste. I wouldn't suggest most people put it.
Well, we got Charlie and I. We'll occasionally do a puzzle. We like picking up a jigsaw, and we did one last year, and it was. You probably came round and saw it, but we got the Star Trek the Motion Picture. We got a movie poster.
Oh, I
jigsaw.
had a lot of black on it. That one.
It's almost like the top third is almost solidly black, and it became the most frustrating thing in the world. So in the end, we just boxed it up and gave it to a charity shop because we were going to finish it, put it in a frame, and then put it on the wall. But yeah, we couldn't face it.
Right. As it says here, it just said about Daft Punk puzzle. That's mad. Yeah, so it's actually from Daft Punk's label, and then after you complete it, they give you like a holographic numbered sticker that you stick over the thing, so you can't undo the puzzle once you have it. And it's all artwork from Homework, which are the album with Daft Punk and Around the World and stuff on it.
Yep.
So it's a pretty cool picture to start with. It also just happens that way. But that was because one year for Christmas, couldn't think of a present, so I thought, why don't I just get a really expensive jigsaw puzzle?
Why not? For the man who has everything, there is always a very difficult jigsaw puzzle. I'm struggling with this A. Oh, look at that. That came out beautifully. That's it.
Quite cool in the Discord and the video because, there's the delay. So I've got the Discord of you talking.
Yeah.
And then the video. And because they don't sync up, I get spoilers from you on the Discord.
And you go, oh, something good's happening.
Good's coming because you say, oh, look at that. And then 7 seconds to 10 seconds later, I get to actually see it come alive.
You go, oh, blimey, that was a good line. Or you go, oh, he's overhyping it. That wasn't good at all.
Favourite thing to draw? Monsters.
100%.
Is it?
Did someone ask that, or is that you asking me?
No, that's me asking it.
Yeah, 100% monsters. Monsters, then dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are mostly for the same reasons, because you can't really get them wrong. But the thing about dinosaurs is there are definitely real ones, so they should be drawn in a certain way.
Yeah, I was about to say dinosaurs existed, monsters didn't.
Yeah, true.
But do you like Monsters Inc? Remember the film? Half of those weren't actually scary.
Half of them weren't even real monsters.
Yeah, half of them weren't. The other thing, do you do feathers on your dinosaurs?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, aristocrat.
Mate, I'm going for the absolute realism. There's some really good videos on YouTube about dinosaur art. If you're interested in dinosaur art, obviously I like the intersection of the two, but obviously the whole thing, dinosaurs didn't exist, right? So every picture ever of a dinosaur has been made up, and there is even the most accurate illustration of a dinosaur is always going to have some element of artistic license. and it's amazing. It sort of plots over the last sort of 200 years. There's lots of different ones, like some are about when they started drawing feathers and when they started coming up with the skin colours. And it's a fascinating subject about just this whole branch of actual science. But it's like, obviously back in the day it was people with oil paints, and now it's people with like 3D Studio or Maya or something. But it's madness, like you said, because they did actually exist, and depending on, you know, you don't have to be accurate, but if you're writing a scientific paper, then you should be relatively accurate. And it's a fascinating area. I just like drawing big, mean, angry monsters. So I don't really care for realism. I draw a T-Rex and I give it a fishtail. That doesn't bother me, but yeah, fascinating stuff. I'll put some links in the Discord for you, because I know you'd probably find it interesting, because you do tend to find things like that quite interesting.
Are you talking to me or to the universe?
I'm talking to you personally, but also I think most people would find it interesting.
Well, thank you. I think that's a very kind thing to say to me. I'm interested in things.
You are interested in things. Not everyone is. Ooh.
Theodore Roosevelt, interested in him. Hell of a guy.
Hell of a guy. Who's your favourite president?
Theodore Roosevelt, easy peasy.
Oh wow, there you go. That was quick.
Very sad. You know, I read his diaries.
Mate, that's a bit rude. Did you ask?
Oh, he's long gone.
Okay.
But we were reading them before he went as well. When we're in the big house behind his back. Let's find this thing that he said.
I'm trying to get that. Oh, am I going to let that fly? It's got just a bit too much bulge in it. Oh, I can't do it. I can't let it go. I can't. Sorry. You're going to have to put up with this a bit longer. You know, it's got that really nice, interesting direction change, though. Right, come on. Let's get some velocity on that.
So, just remember, I found exactly what I was after. Do you know Theodore Roosevelt?
I do know Theodore Roosevelt.
The manliest man ever. As he used to write every day, and he almost used to be purposely over the top being a man. That's all he cared about.
New subscriber.
It was almost a parody of himself.
Thanks, Christopher.
What you got there? A subscriber?
Yeah, new subscriber.
All right. His diaries he used to write like every day. So while he's not being like the head of the New York police and being a general and fighting in wars and being president, he's still writing pages and pages a day.
Okay.
It's very sad. His wife and his mother both died on the same day, on Valentine's.
Oh, and I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, and there's just one page in his diary, and it says, "The light has gone out of my life," and there's a big cross. So there's your cross. It links back to your drawing. There's your crosses there as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Just coloured it all black.
Maybe that's what he was saying. Colour this page in black. Yeah.
Fantastic handwriting, though.
They all did, didn't they? Back in day.
One hit as well. Like he's doing an L, and it's just perfect.
He's doing it with a fountain pen, probably. He's got no Tipp-Ex.
Big feather.
Yeah.
Chasing a swan round the White House pond. Come here, mate. I need to write more pages in this document. I'm assuming that's where those came from.
I'm pleased with that. Pleased with the way they came out.
As he in fact did. He created national parks.
Is this the Theodore Roosevelt appreciation stream?
No, there was a comment. I was just commenting on the thing.
I've not looked up for a sec. Oh, okay. No, it's Hazzy. Oh, wait, you're getting on, aren't you? Good. It's when I find out it's actually just you having a conversation with yourself. You've got two computers set up.
Sorry, mate. I was offline there. I was on my other computer.
Very good. Trying to get right. I'm going to get through this because I can't imagine that this bit is particularly interesting for you to watch. So I'm trying not to give myself anxiety and rush it, but I also appreciate you might not care too much about seeing a big G. Oh, Zolty likes drawing people. Okay. Well, I struggle. I used to really like drawing people. As I said, I did a lot of time doing my anatomy and all that kind of stuff. And I still do like, when I have to be in the mood though. You know, I just really have to be in the mood for sitting down drawing some human figures. Because I can actually find the experience extremely frustrating when I don't get it right. And that's work that I need to do, because your work shouldn't be perfect. Hey, Stu's just joined Delta Squad as well. Yes, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to draw another A, because that A gave me grief last time. So we're just going to take the easy route here. And we're just going to take that one. Why make things hard for yourself? There's no reason. There's no reason. Stu's in the chat. Stu's in the chat. Yes, mate. This has been the best stream ever. I've been getting. I only turned on channel memberships today. I'm putting down mad bank now. £4 a month now. What's going on here? Hey, calm down.
Score one for our side.
Here he comes. Thanks, mate. So, in preparation for this stream, I thought, do you know what would be quite cool is I'll turn on channel memberships. But I made a load of animated emotes. So those of you who are on the Discord have seen this week that I added a bunch of new emojis to the Discord. And then I wanted to make animated emojis. But it turns out you need to have Discord Nitro to use them. And I thought that was a bit... dunno. Lame. So I took them off, but then I had all these. I'd actually made all these animations. Like I made, you've probably seen it when I get a subscriber. It's Rando's head and like the visor shines, and then I made the Delta with the glowing visor. So I thought, oh, wicked! I can use them for emotes on the stream when we get subs and so on. And I just thought that they would fly for weeks without ever being seen. But I'm really pleased tonight that we've seen 2 of them. The other ones are for donations and for super chats. That's not an invitation for you to donate or super chat, but hopefully we'll see them soon. On that subject, I'm going to do a charity stream soon. Try and raise a bit more money for the charity that I was raising money for last year, Little Ollie. He is still in need of some funds. He's still in need of care, so we're going to try and raise a bit more money for him. So it'd be cool to see you guys there, and we do that. Undecided what we're going to do again. I think something challenging and grueling is a good shout, because I think it's nice to suffer for it. Rather than just asking to give me money to play something I like to do, I always think it's better if you do something that's difficult and upsetting. So maybe we'll play more of those horrible Blair Witch games. So you know what? We're just gonna get this done. Look at that. The way that went.
You're in that M, aren't you?
Yeah. It's the. Do you know what? That's good. That's good. That's good. We'll have that. We'll call that. You'll see that in a few seconds, mate. There he goes.
There he is. Oh, that was beautiful, wasn't it? It followed the blind perfect.
Yeah, that came out really well. I'm glad I got these beats. They're keeping me calm. We can do this in 2 halves. Whoa, look at that line. This is like if you ever, I don't know, you line up a good headshot in a computer game, or like, I don't know, score a really good goal in FIFA or something. For me, that's getting a really nice line in Photoshop. Look at that. Oh, we're going to go that way with that, because yeah, look at that. Just try and get the same thickness on the other end. Yep, beautiful. Oh, look at that. That is fantastic, that. Stu's in the gang. Stu's in the club, everyone. You're now in the very exclusive contributing members gang, which is amazing. So I was reading today about the Discord API. I'm going to try and write some code so that channel members get exclusive emoji access. So that'd be quite cool, I think. Only because I thought it'd be fun to try and code it myself. So one thing I'm going to have to do a video at some point where it's like actually announcing. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Has been is now. Has been is now. I get it. I get it. Has just sent in a super chat. Oh, you'll see the emote shortly.
Thanks for the help, Delta.
There we go.
I swear to God, it wasn't
There it is. Is it?
No, it isn't me. No, at all.
Well, anyway, you saw the sausage roll.
I've not
There
seen
it
it
is.
yet. It's not come up on the main one.
It should do.
Oh.
In it goes. Here she goes.
There it is. It says it's Australian money, so it's dollary dues. That's about one apple, isn't it, in Australia?
Mate, isn't it about 15 quid for an apple in Australia?
What's that in dollars?
I don't know. You told me it's like called the Australian economy is like
Oh, yeah, when I went over there, it's
Nuts, though.
Yeah, but the pay is also good, so it all sort of levels out.
yeah.
It's like someone say, "Oh, it's a real.
Ooh.
I got a job. I got to do 60 hours a week, but it's a DOS." You're like, "Oh well, don't know how I feel about that, but good on you."
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't do 60 hours even if it was easy.
You go and work at the New York Stock Exchange. It's closes at 4 in the afternoon. Opens at like 10. But you just
Perfect.
got fellas just screaming at you for 6 hours.
Scott liked the sausage roll emote. Mate, it has to be now. Like it has to be from the first stream, and which you were on, Scott. Sam, sorry, which you were on. Ever since it was Budget Builds paid, and I think Sam did as well, paid for you, Raf, to feed me sausage rolls on stream. And so ever since then, the sausage roll has become basically the icon of game show streams, as far as I'm concerned. Ooh, yeah, we'll keep that. We'll keep that. Look how well this is coming out. Right. Oh, do you know what I could do here to be really cheeky? Rather than build this queue, what I could do is I could take this and I could probably break it apart, turn it into the queue. Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Yep. So we're going to delete all the stuff in the middle here. Let's turn all this off. Here we go. We're going to work smarter, not harder. Because we can get this done, and then that is going to be a little under 2 hours for the inking, and that is, for me, absolutely rapid. I'm loving how quickly this came together, and this is all thanks to doing the stream, which is brilliant. It's really cool to have you on here because it means I have to keep my pace up, keep it fresh, keep it entertaining. So I'm thankful for you all for that.
I said it in the chat, but I think with the concentration on this, it gets away from you. But I'm absolutely gagging to see some colour in this.
Are ya?
Yeah, I understand what colour a flower is going to be. I might be wrong, but the rest.
Well,
of it,
you don't know
only-
though, do you?
Well, I'm hoping I know what flower.
Yeah. Alright, let's get that down there. That's gonna look, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. This is gonna look nice.
What's happening here then? Why have you moved this bit to there? Are you going to put them back, or is it something else?
How do you mean?
So you've got a sort of rounded square.
Yep.
And there isn't a rounded square. Are these the edges of the box that goes around the writing?
Yes.
Oh, so you say you're going to put them back? Oh, got you, Amy.
See what I'm doing?
Being smart, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping the hand-drawn element.
You got it. So let's rotate that 180. Let's put that there. That needs to be smaller. That needs to scale. There we go. But it also needs to be thicker. Oh, look at that. Got it almost perfect. Yeah, so we're going to work smart, not hard on this. Make sure we don't copy too much of these bits of accidental damage. Yep, good. Oh. Good. Yes. Yes. And then we'll take a nice straight line. Ooh. Shame that wasn't unbroken. There we go. That's what we need. That right there.
Do you use the tablet instead of a mouse as well for like selecting things on the?
Oh yeah. The tablet, like all the time, really. I try to use the tablet as much as possible. You don't have to. Like sometimes I will solidly actually work with the mouse. I've done like whole paintings where I'll use the mouse. But when I'm in the mood like this, I'll use just the tablet. So the Wacom has got a bank of buttons on the side as well. So it's got like macros you can program in, or you can just assign hotkeys, and it's really, really good. But I often forget what buttons I've set up on the tablet, so again I'm not as quick with it. So tonight I'm just not going to bother, because I know I can just very quickly just tap the right key on the keyboard and get to the right tool.
So is the whack? Do you know you've got like this board? Is that what you'd call it? You could do in Illustrator, I think. But do you know this sort of rectangle which is inside it?
Yeah.
Is that the same? If you go to the edge of the Wacom tablet, it's going to the edge of the image here, or is it at the whole desktop?
It's set to the tablet. Set to the desktop.
Oh right. So
actually, it's set to my whole
right.
space.
If you go top right by accident and push down, it can hit the close.
Yeah, definitely that. Definitely have done that before.
How big is that drawing? Wow.
Sorry?
I said, how big was that drawing?
Sometimes you just muck about, don't you? But yeah, so you can set this in the tablet settings. You can actually tell it to, because it currently goes over both monitors, because I use it in lieu of a mouse when I'm working with it. But you can actually just say only move inside one monitor. You can tell it to only move inside one program. You can define exactly where it goes. It's very useful. It's a very useful tool. There we go. That was good, wasn't it? I'll get rid of that bit. And then we'll turn all these other layers back on. Look at that. Look at the way that came out. Absolutely brilliant. Get rid of that. Oh my god. I can't get over how well that came out. Literally cannot get over how well that came out. Oh, I just saw he's gagging for some colour. You're putting more pressure on me.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's like you're the Rolling Stones up there, and you're not playing the hits. And I'm going, ooh, and you sort of, I'm not upset about it, but I go, oh, I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
Yeah. You're not, as long as you don't start heckling the band, then you're all right.
Give us some blue. Colour, not the music by the band.
I have a tiny Wacom. It's so responsive compared to other brands. When I was at uni, they had the big chunky tablet pens that hurt your hands. Yeah. The one thing that is great about the Wacom is the pen. As I said, like Zoltan was saying earlier in the chat that he had a Huion, and it's okay. But the Huion as well. Like the great thing about the Wacom pen is it's completely passive. It doesn't require charging up or anything like that. It doesn't require any power, whereas other brands you have to charge the pen up, whereas this is magical technology that doesn't, because I think it's just RFID, so I think it's powered by the kind of radio signal or something. Crazy tech. But yeah, the way the pen feels in the hand is really good compared to its competitors. Really good. Oh, the new Huion pen doesn't recharge. Okay, that's actually cool. The Huion I had to be charged up, and that was just rubbish. There's no two ways about it. It was just rubbish. Right, let's clean that up. I'm going to purposely drag this out now because Raf's gagging to see some colour, so I'm going to make him suffer. So, anyone else in the chat? So, Zoltan, you like to draw. Has been. You say that you used a tablet at university, so I assume that you draw. Oh, so the pen's good. It's the display. Oh, okay. So it is one that actually has a display on it, like a little monitor screen. I mean, they are cool, aren't they? Oh, look what I've done here. There's nothing we can do now. So best practices when you're drawing, make sure you draw on the right layer. Don't get it wrong, or you'll look and feel really silly. But I do that a lot, especially when you've got a lot of layers floating around. It's really easy. But what we're going to do is we're going to merge all of these layers down into one, because there's no reason to have multiple sketch layers. It's just because we've done the build this way. So don't worry about it. If the way that you're happy working is fine. For me, I like to be efficient, so that's why I like to name my layers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a blank layer here, and we'll fill that. Shift F5. I've already set this up to be magic pink, so I'm going to do magic pink just because it'll hurt your eyes for a second. But what I actually think I'm going to have is just a pale grey, so we can just get an idea of how our art's looking. Yeah, okay, you know what, that's looking nice. What we're going to do is we go to the plaque. I'm going to erase these lines here. Oh, look at that. That's, you just know you're getting towards something good, right? Nice bit of, yeah, look at that, beautiful. And on my sketch I had teeth here, but I think it's going to be nicer just to have that really clean. And then at that was one of these. Yeah, do you know what we're going to do? We're just going to now merge these. Control E. We're going to merge all those layers together. There's no reason to keep them separate at this point. We gain nothing from having all those layers separate. Helps keep our layers palette nice and tidy, and we're better set to do our colour, because the colour will require a few layers just because of the way I like to work with colour. Cheeky little Control S there just in case, but you know what, that's looking pretty good. That looks like a t-shirt design, doesn't it? Pretty happy with that. Do you know what my favourite bit is? The skull's nose. I can still remember the way that came together with those smooth. Should have done that last. You know, I shouldn't have made you sit through me lettering up that sign. I should have come to that last. Right. Oh, so you did game design. Okay. Okay, cool. Drawing teacher never explained how horizon lines interact with objects. Game design teacher was more interested in social engineering than games. Looks like a tattoo. Hey, do you know what? Kind of does look like a tattoo. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna knock down some colours now. Now
It's a tattoo. The bats just. Sorry, mate. I went away. I didn't know if you spoke. The bats look exactly like he's a Polish tattooist, and he's called Local Pirate. And he does these. And I'll send you a thing later on because I think you'll like it because it's how you've drawn those bats is literally how all of his art is, all different things.
Oh, great!
So going down slides in the park, people having a bit of a dance, but he seems to be super popular. But what was it that Picasso said? It took him a lifetime to learn how to draw like a child. Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
With 4 lines into it, if you don't have any artistic ability, it just looks bad. But if you can meld the two things together, that it's a considered decision.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
Okay, cool.
Super fun stuff.
Right, we're going to make a brush now. We're going to make a painting brush. This is a fun thing to do. I like to make painting brushes. So, what have we got here? This is just a standard round brush, which actually looks like it's got some kind of... Let's open up the Wacom thing. I don't know what the deal is with this thing. Where is it? Oh, maybe that's the problem. Right, where's the pressure? Yeah, that's how I like it. I like it really sensitive. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to go down maybe one. No, to here. Not like that. Yeah, so then that way we can get some... Yeah, good. Hopefully we can get some... Yeah, look, we're going to get some more difference now. Good. So we've got some pressure sensitivity with the brush. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of build up something fun. Right, here we go. So I'm going to jitter it a little bit, not a lot. Pressure, but what I like to do is I like to not have it go all the way down to being tiny. So we'll start off with it quite big and it will just get a bit bigger. I was like that, don't care about those. I don't think I care about these things for now. Scattering is okay, but what's really good is dual brush. And the chalk brushes that come in Photoshop are really, really good, especially this old version of Photoshop. Now, lots of people will tell you you should have loads of brushes. You should have a big bank of brushes. I don't believe in that. I think the brushes you can do with the basics, the amount of stuff you can do with the basic stuff is absolutely fine. We can get some really, really cool stuff in here. As you can see here, get some. This is good. Maybe the base brush should be also a chalk brush. Don't know what I do to my frame rate. Oh, that looks fun. There we go. That's kind of Let's get that. Yeah. That's really fun. When we get to opacity, we'll have fun with that. Here we go. Look at that. So you can't set a base opacity. That's the problem. Maybe we shouldn't have opacity. I want to be able to set it. There should be a minimum. That's what I want. I want there to be a minimum opacity. Never mind, there isn't one, so we'll just move on. Yeah, dual brush looks good. I just like to have a kind of a paintbrushy looking brush with a bit of noise. That's kind of looking about what I want, I think. Because I don't want my brushes to look too bitty. So I really like, as a style of illustration, I really like Belgian comics. The style's sometimes called Franco-Belgian, and sometimes it's called bande dessinée. But like Tintin is a really good example. Hergé was an absolute master. 13, the recent game, obviously was originally based on an old Belgian comic. Mobius, one of the greatest illustrators of all time, was a great bande dessinée illustrator. And one of the things that defines that style of comic book art is just bold use of single blocks of colour without feeling the pressure to overly shade. It's another reason I like Mike Mignola so much, because he does the same thing, and it's another reason why I like Jack Kirby's work. Now, Jack Kirby illustrated in a time when he didn't really have many options. Being a comic books illustrator in the 40s, or probably actually we're talking the 60s onwards, the 4-colour process meant that blending wasn't really an option, and the colour choices weren't really an option. But rather than work against them, Kirby worked with that limitation and created some incredible work using that. And it's the same reason the bande dessinée work looks so good, is because there's the same thing. They're struggling with the same print limitations, and so they come up with some really creative ways of displaying work, and I really love that. And as we were saying before, the digital age means that whilst we can throw so much more colour into our work, I don't believe we should, just because we can. So I don't know where I'm going with this, by the way. We're going to throw some colour down, and we're going to see where we get to. And we're not going to do, this is going to be real fun, hot colours. But I just need some shade here. Do you know what? Let's just bang some down. We'll tidy this up later. We'll just bang some colour down so we know where we're at. Contrast first, detail later. There's a nice painting technique for you. You ever paint in little men? That's another good tip. Detail first, contrast first, detail later. So we're just going to get this down, then we're going to do some squinting. That's an imperative tool. Do some squinting, so you can make sure you've got your tones right, got your contrast right. I feel like these purple bats, I think maybe I might have over-egged it when I said I was going to do them black. I think purple's really good. It's quite a good shade as well. Not super into it, but actually, that could be if that's in this is the very, very near foreground, so maybe we could do like a even darker, kind of like maybe bluey. Oh, that's a nice tone. Yeah, that's a bit. This brush came out really nice. It's kind of like a pastel, like an oil pastel or something. That's nice. Oh, is that? Can you see the outline? Is that making the outline look green? So I never use black for my like ink lines. I never ever use black, because I think it's very boring. So I always like to include colour. Like I usually make it bluey. Sometimes I kind of make it reddish, like a warm line. Whereas I seem to have gone with something a bit green. Let's just try and shift that along to make that a bit blue. It's even more green now. Oh, there you go. Now you can see what it is. Weird that it looks. It just looks green against the. It definitely looks green, doesn't it, against the purple? But it's not. If we turn the saturation up, it's really, really blue. Oh, that looks really good against that purple. Yeah, sick. We'll leave it like that. That looks... do you know what? These colours are looking tidy. Yeah, that's looking really choice. So this is obviously going to be some like super hot yellow over here. Like maybe... I have this thing when I use colour. Like I always want to go subtle. And then my colours end up looking really grey. So I usually end up having to kind of punch in some extra... let's make them yellow for now. I don't think they're intended to be yellow, but... I always end up having to kind of go back in and like add more saturation. Kind of boost it up. That's looking tidy. And then these will be kind of like... They won't be yellow, but they'll be... I'm going to try and do like a SSS kind of fade on the top. Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah, it really pops against that purple. That's a really tidy. Yellow's a good colour. I'm really keen into this red here, like when it's like, it's not red, it's kind of pinky. Like I'm really into that shade at the minute. I've been using that a lot in stuff. But what we want to do is get that ivory candle colour, but without it now just looking like a boring grey. Now I'd also said that I was going to do excuse me, that's gross. I was going to do this candlestick like black, but I don't know if I can now. This will obviously be faded up from that dark. Don't know, like maybe I could, maybe I could find a way of like kind of bringing in this. Actually, that looks kind of fun, doesn't it? Like it's not getting in anyone's way. We can probably bang that there, blend that out behind that cross. That's kind of cool. Just looking at the preview, so you see up on the top right, I have the navigator open. I always have that for thumbnails, just so I can have an idea of how my work's going to look when it's really, really small. For thumbnails, that's like so important. But for this, I don't necessarily think of it, because obviously it's going to be on, maybe it's going to be on a shirt or something. But I always think, well, but when you're like, if you're looking at it in a thumbnail on a website, is the work still going to speak? Is it still going to have something to say? But I'm really worried. Thank you, Zoltan, for saying I have a good sense for colour. I don't think that I do. I really struggle with colour. Lottie is exceptionally good with colour. It's I think it's probably her greatest skill, like in terms of her art. She's so intuitive when it comes to colour. I don't know. I'm getting better. Like I'm doing more with colour, so I'm just kind of getting good by default. But see here now, I'm looking at this candle. I'm like, this kind of muddy, greenish, ivory candle colour looks boring. And what colour is this skull going to be? I feel like, do you know what? I feel like maybe, what if we just... Let's just try this. Let's just see what happens if this becomes a big yellow skull. Like, no one can tell us... It's our world. It's our rules. No one can tell us we can't have a yellow skull if we want a yellow skull. If that's where we want to go with it, that's where we'll go.
It's not a human skull either, is it?
Exactly, it's a vampire skull.
There we go.
No one can tell us what's right or wrong in our world. I'm conscious of using too many colours as well. So for all of those who bought a Rando shirt, and Sam, you're one of them, so thank you. Big shout out to Sam for actually buying some of that merch. I look back at that illustration now and I think, oh, I wish I'd done less colour. I wish I'd kind of stuck with something bolder. So something fun about me, I tend to seriously overwork my colour, and I overwork my paintings, put too much shading in it, and then I have to delete it all and go back to flat colour, because I really, really like just being bold with flat colour. Look at that thumbnail. It doesn't look terrible, you know. That doesn't look terrible at all. I'm not given on this medium purple. I really like this dark bluer one. I really like that. It's good. It's kind of like have it that way, so the light's collecting in the bottom there. Nah, it's got to go that way. That's funny, man. Threw the warthog from Halo and no one even noticed. When I was in school, it's completely unrelated. But when I was in school, we were asked to write a poem for Christmas. And it's like our RE teacher had asked us all to write a Christmas poem. And I just didn't do it. I didn't do that homework. But on the morning, I was sitting in class and it was the day to hand in our Christmas poem. So I just wrote out the words to Band-Aid. Do they know it's Christmas? And I mean, I didn't go to school in like 1989, but obviously by then Band-Aid was pretty much known by everybody. And my RE teacher didn't notice. She gave me a commendation. She was like, "That was a really great poem. I really liked the bit where it was like, do they know it's Christmas time in Africa?" There you go. Good story. A good maroon. They've essentially made the Lego version of Rando Mando now. Oh yeah, because they must be doing Mandalorian Lego. Yeah, do you know what? I'm kind of vibing on that yellow skull, and I feel like that putrid greeny. Nah, that's got to go. We've got to figure something out there. We've got to figure something out. And maybe I'll try and put in like a pale. If I do like a something like that. That'd be, yeah, look, that's fine. Look, that's actually popping off. That's cool. Maybe something here as well, like get some kind of some vibe like that, maybe. Yeah, that's not. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like old NES colours as well, right? I'm kind of vibing on that. I feel like there needs to be one more colour on the skull. I'm thinking like a shading. Colour like this, kind of. Yeah, mustard, actually. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Like a. Maybe if I took that actually a little further, kind of warmed it up a little. Nah, not there too. It's only for the skull. Yeah, do you know what? I like that orange. I think that looks fun. The peonies feel like they should be pink, but do you know what I like also is I like blue peonies, and I think it's a bit of a game show blue as well, but I think maybe these could be fun, like really hot. Thing is, you've got to think as well. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys, if you're artists, you know, it can't be too visually busy. The eye needs to know where to look. So if everything's too bright, we'll lose it, but I think that could be really fun. That could be worth exploring. That's quite nice, actually. That kind of blue, and then maybe if we went into like a, maybe more along here, but like an indigo. That's too strong. Far too strong. Let's see what happens if we just do that colour. Yeah, I'm kind of vibing on that. With the blue flowers.
And I thought I knew what colour a flower was going to be. Blew my socks off.
Were you thinking pink?
I'm very basic. I was thinking red.
Red?
I haven't got a clue, mate. Don't listen to me.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. Everyone.
I still do, kids drawing, red flower, sun's up in the sky, it's big yellow circle with sunglasses on it. That's my my limitation.
Do you do the rays coming out of the sun as well?
I do, and then a car is a line up, straight line for the bonnet, 45, straight line, 45 down, boot, 2 circles, and a big puff of smoke coming out the exhaust. Just like Picasso.
Well, exactly, mate. Yeah, I'm thinking that's kind of fun. I'm vibing on that. Maybe if I tone them down a little, we just kind of only have those bright pops.
You got a nice comment about the 2005 video.
In the chat?
In the chat, yeah.
Wickiness WNE channel. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you very much for asking. Thanks for joining the chat. How are you? Your video about 2005 games, the spirit of 2005 is on point. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was one of the first. I linked that in one of the Discord channels recently, actually, because that was one of the first videos I think I ever made where I was like, not just going, here's a game I've reviewed, but actually saying, here's an actual thing that I believe in, and here's a point that I want to make. I'm still really happy with how that video came out. It's an interesting one because I think I've also said is I didn't actually think when I started making that video, I didn't actually think that 2005 was the best year for games. I actually thought it was 2003, and I was originally going to make a video basically just called "Weren't Games Good in 2003" or something silly like that. But this transpired instead. Do you know what? What if I just made that blue? But after I did a bit of research, I found out that actually, not really sort of unbeknownst to me, but 2005 had so many highly rated games compared to years at either side of it. And so that's what really the video became. It became more, oh, okay, this is a kind of an actual thing. This is, proof almost. But I do believe in that. I believe that the 2000s was a really magical time, and I think obviously you've seen the video, so you know why. But I think there's something about having just enough money to make games very, very good, but not so much money that they become very, very risky. It was a really magical period, and it meant we got, because before then games were crazy creative, they were like the PS1 era, the actual early to mid 90s was really, really crazy because there was almost no risk. Games didn't cost that much to make. Anybody could really make them. But yeah, I think something really magical happened around that time. We got like all the Tony Hawk's games, and Call of Duty was something new. It was a new idea. And it's not disparaging modern games. I think modern games are great as well. And I think we're seeing a resurgence. I think we're seeing people go back to being risky again, and we're starting to see people take those risks, which is really great. That's really what I want. I love playing games that are just, I like playing games that are just bad, like if they're just janky and weird, but someone's gone out of their way to try and make something different. I love it. And I think big studios obviously are terrified of risk so much that we often see them shying away from trying new things.
Hey, what's interesting about when you say you thought that 2003, and then in other terms, like your favorite game of all time may not actually be from that year.
Yeah, it's not even.
So yeah, it's like Nash's equilibrium. It's like game theory. The fact is, if that year, and I think I'm remembering that video, there was a graph.
Yeah.
Like, on the whole, if the average of everything is higher in that point, then from like an analytical point of view, that would be the best thing. You can say not one of those games within the list and doing that, even in my top 10. But if all of them are above 50% of all time, then it automatically becomes you can't outscore it. So I think when we were making videos on actual games within it, we made quite a few, didn't we? Like 2005, like
we did.
Of the old thing. But then you kind of run out. You go, there is so many other things I want to talk about that are not here.
Yeah.
Everything is quite good. Everything is quite good, but nothing is particularly bad. So I think that's quite an interesting thing. At any point between, as you say, between those 90s and probably mid sort of 2010s. Yeah. Like at any point there, if you took any sort of pick 3 years, you'd probably get the same average score if you added them all together.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
There was a lot of rubbish, but then there was a lot of also there wasn't enough. You had to have some level of not everything was. You couldn't just buy a game engine as well as some of them now, where everything's done for you. You can just push out loads of stuff. Like, you know, with Unity, there's a lot of crap on that, and there's a lot of CryEngine stuff which isn't very good. So you'd have to be technically quite good, but you might not be a very good storyteller. But at least the thing would probably work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Now, where am I sitting with this? I like that dark purple, but I don't think it needs to be behind the lettering. But I also don't want to go nuts on too many colours. Oh, I see Raf's posted up some colours. Raf's posted up some colours for his hallway in the Discord.
Not just posted them, bought them.
Nice, mate, nice. How do I... There we go, mate. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in.
What do you mean?
Let's bring him into the painting, mate. You can have this in your hallway.
I did a very bad Photoshop of my hallway beforehand.
Raf's hall. Actually, some of these are actually nice. This isn't this. See,
Read
this
some. Don't say it like that. You should say
No,
all
'cause
because
I was thinking that this could. I was thinking that these could be this kind of dusty pink colour. It's very mature, isn't it? It's very mature.
mature.
What do you mean? Very grown up. I quite like this kind of. What would you call this? I always think of this colour as being a petrol colour. I always think this bluey greens are always called petrol.
The maddest one we had with it, which is annoying as well, is I had them on my phone and then I sent them to Fiona on her phone, and then we're in the paint shop trying to find the cans.
Right.
And I'm saying to her, put your colour all the way up.
I really like that.
Yeah, and I'll put mine all the way up, and then that's it. That's what it looks like. We put the two phones together and they look completely different on both of them.
Oh, right.
One's a Samsung, one's a Chinese phone.
Right, got ya.
So there's no real reference.
Yeah, that's nice, that. Maybe that could be here, actually. Actually, yeah, do you know what? Let's do... Oh, yeah. Let's just put that there. That looks tidy. That looks very tidy. Maybe, yeah, maybe do that as well. I did feel like this was going to be really, really dark. So maybe I need another darker purple. Just to really crush into those areas. I don't have to feel bad. maybe along the bottom there, like that. Just really push that into there, into there, into there. And actually, if I do that, we can put that in the very top. And then that can just be that. That needs to be there. Oh. Oh. Yeah, so Hasbin says pop the skull out, and I feel like that does it, right? I mean, I feel like if we get that really dark there, that really helps the skull kind of sing a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice. It's got nice perspective. Maybe not the correct word, but it's like at the front, the other things are behind. Clearly,
Yeah.
moves them apart.
I don't want to overshade because, as I said before, that's an area that I struggle with. I go overboard with my shading. But when I look at that preview, that looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. I think we can tidy that up a little bit now. I think we can start tidying that up.
The thumbnail looks like some jamming album cover.
That's good. That's a great thing, I think.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Thanks, mate. All right, let's tidy these colours.
I don't normally talk like that, sorry.
What's that?
I said jamming. I apologise. I don't normally talk like that.
Jamming reggae haircuts. Yeah, no, they're going back to being like that. Yeah, look at that. That's really nice. That's a nice colour. I feel like we're getting somewhere with this tonight. Making some progress. Oh, there's a hole somewhere. There was me thinking we could do some nice, cheeky, quick. No such luck. That's cool. There we go, just going to get these nice lines in. You can't congratulate yourself as much when you're colouring as you can when you're doing that line work. The line work's a really nice process to give yourself some good positive feedback. Whereas with this, you're like, oh yeah, good colouring. Good colouring. Doesn't feel like you've got as many opportunities to be really nice to yourself. That's a shame. I'm undecided on the yellow skull, by the way. I haven't completely conceded on that. I feel like these purples and this pink, I'm really happy with the colour of the moon. These bats are going to end up, I think, a little darker. The candles are great. I'm loving the colour of the candles. But I'm just not necessarily sold on the skull being the exact same colour. We'll see what happens. We'll see what comes around. Love the inside curve of that wing. God, I remember that coming out. Dang. That was so good. Really easy stuff though. Really nice simple lines. Just colouring in some bats. Nice way to spend a Saturday night. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Got some channel members. That was fun. Wasn't expecting that. Didn't even announce it. You guys just jumped on it without me even saying that we had it as a feature. Yeah, that looks really tidy. Wouldn't it definitely feel like it belongs? I said, yeah, like an album cover or cover of like a really old game. Like someone would have bought you, like you might have told an aunt what game you wanted, but she got you the wrong game. But it was like, it still looks. She bought it because it had a cool label. And you're like, oh, that's nice, thanks. You know, it's not what I asked for, but it's really kind of you to get that for me. We all know their aunt as well. You all had the same aunt. You want like a, I don't know, if you're a girl, you ask her for like a My Little Pony, and you end up with like My Lovely Horse, because she's like, oh, I thought it was the same thing, and you go, yeah, it's lovely, it's really nice. Or like you might have asked for turtles, and you got like mutant leopards, and you're like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, Auntie Sue. Don't worry about it. It's just really nice that you just thought of me. That's what I'm going for here. Really, all my art is that. Ripping off other people's artwork. The trick is to rip off multiple people at once, so they can't decide who owns the actual copyright. So actually, I'm going to get rid of these X's on the sketch, because I think I'm unlikely to actually go all the way down into black. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm kind of vibing on these kind of going brighter. Oh, going brighter is really fun. This skull can't stay yellow, can it? It looks gold. It looks gold. I don't think we can have that. Do some nice gradient shading. Oh, look at this. Sausage roll, night, skull. Oh yeah, good. Good. I get it. I get where we're going with that.
Tried.
With the sausage rolls as well, though. Fantastic.
in the emoticons, I was going to go for like birthday candles or something.
Oh yeah.
So in the categories for food, it has a birthday cake with candles. If you click that, there isn't an actual emoticon, which is that.
Oh wow! So
I found the why Google is such a fraud shield company.
Yeah, that's why.
Over promising and under delivering.
Yeah, exactly that. Class action lawsuit. 55 million people have taken Google to court over the birthday cake scandal.
Well, it's a slippery slope, isn't it? What next?
Well, I mean, if they're going to lie to you about that, what else are they lying about?
What will happen is they'll take away all the sad emoticons from us, so everyone can only be happy all the time. And then it's the fun police, basically. So
when if you're trying to describe the customer service experience with Google, the only vocabulary you're allowed, big happy smiley faces.
Yeah, on a scale of fabulous to wonderful, magnificent. What was it? Snacktacular.
That's a good word.
That was the Simpsons one.
We watched Treehouse of Horror 2 and 3 last night.
What, preparation for this drawing?
No, it wasn't.
Good Halloween artwork in The Simpsons.
Oh man, that show's so good.
Bat Simpson.
Yep.
Which one was it on the Treehouse?
So the one where it's the Pet Cemetery one. Where they bring people back from the dead. That's really, you shot Zombie Flanders. Flanders was a zombie.
Flanders was a zombie.
Yeah, good joke. They reused the same joke in another one of the Halloween episodes. I can't remember, because I'm on the spot now, so I can't remember if
he was a zombie.
But it's Bart was a vampire. That's it. Grandpa kills Bart gets turned into a vampire, and Grandpa says, "We need to kill the boy." And they're like, "Oh, how did you know Bart was a vampire?" And he's like, "Bart's a vampire?"
Yeah.
Same gag.
Lazy.
Yeah, and this was golden era Simpsons as well, so they didn't need to be doing that.
No YouTube. No way for people to put the compilation together.
Oh yeah.
Can I ask a Photoshop question?
Absolutely.
So this is all one layer now together because you.
All the colour is on one layer, yeah.
So when you've gone like massively over the lines with one of them, when you're sort of getting it down quickly.
Yeah.
Are you then all you're doing to get back is then just drawing straight back over it, or can you delete? Imagine you've done a load of pink and then you've done some purple. Can you delete just the purple, or is it once it's down that's it?
Yeah. If I turn the sketch layer off, you can see it's really just all these colours next to each other. So I'm just drawing in.
Oh, so what? There would be a way just to completely remove all of the purple and the whole thing.
If I wanted to, yeah. I can select it and delete it. I can select it and just change the colour, like using a replacement. I like this process really. I could make it easier for myself. Let's put it that way.
Oh, look at that. Oh, the thing's just caught up for me. That's why all the lines have gone.
Yeah, so I was just showing you that's what the actual colour layer looks like, and that over those lines is just another layer over the top. That's going to stay like that. What does everyone think? What do you think to the yellow skull? I'm not vibing with it, but I also can't think of anything better. Just going to paint it flat yellow, and then we can figure it. We'll do it on this. We'll paint it all up on a separate layer. We'll be able to select the yellow, and then we'll be able to organize ourselves better. In fact, can I? Is that? Oh yeah. No, damn. What's everyone having for dinner tonight? In the chat. I had we went and got the new gravy burger from KFC. Anyone seen that? Weird thing to call it, because it's a burger and it comes with a hash brown inside the burger. That the hash brown's got like a little, it's got like a little tiny bath built into the hash brown, and so you pour gravy into the little gap in the hash brown, and then and that's the gravy burger. It's a burger that now has gravy in it, which is fantastic. Really, it's probably better in theory, because I did spill quite a lot of gravy over myself while eating it, but also I don't really mind that. Ah, Zoltan, I'm getting Nez Castlevania vibes from this picture. Well, that is exactly the feeling that I want to generate, so I'm thankful that this is working. I was going to try and push in some of that really, really neon NES neon green, but I don't want it to look too much like the NES Castlevania like splash screen or anything. I don't want it to look too much like a Castlevania knockoff. That's not what I'm about tonight. We're trying to get those vibes, but I don't want it just to be just a hacky thing. So that's why we don't have any neon green. But if we get in the vibe, I'm very happy. Just getting that colour, just putting that colour down. In that little gap there, in his little teeth. Nice. Yeah, that's coming on nicely, man. I like this brush. This brush came out really well. Just something for throwing together. So one thing Affinity's got going for it is that it does have some really cool brushes. Just like built-in stock standard brushes. I mean, not unlike any of the other kind of more sophisticated painting apps. Don't know if you ever used like the old Painter or anything like that. Those pieces of software were pretty cool. But it's got some really nice like inking brushes, painting brushes out of the gate, which is a nice thing. I think that's a good thing. But I never I don't really buy into the whole like having a big catalogue of brushes. There's a great digital artist who I bought a couple of. Well, actually, I didn't buy them. We had a subscription on Skillshare, and we watched this guy called Hardy. Can't remember his surname. It's an American fellow, and he's got some unbelievably good digital painting videos up on Skillshare. He's incredibly talented, but he just uses the standard Photoshop chalk brush. That's it. And he's super good. He's worked on big productions, kind of pretty big deal. He's a big wheel down the cracker factory. And I think that's a really good indication. I think a lot of us get caught up in the tech. A lot of us get caught up in making sure we've got the right gear. And it's very easy to do anything creative with very little equipment. That's another thing, another kind of lesson I've had on my creative journey is you don't need to invest in a lot of expensive gear. You can start a YouTube channel without a Canon 5D or whatever. Or you don't need to have Final Cut Pro or any of the expensive editing software. You can do it with iMovie and a webcam and a USB microphone that you got for, I don't know, 15 quid off of Amazon or something. The creative part is the important part, and that bit's free. Yeah, these little blue flowers, they're popping off that background. That's really good. I wasn't vibing on that yellow skull, but you know what? That's coming together for me now. That's coming together for me. Right, what we're going to do then is we're going to select the yellow of this skull. Oh, it's not quite complete. What am I set on? Oh, 6. No wonder I've got... Right, let's put that to about 55. Better. We're going to add that. We're going to get the skull onto a new layer. So we're going to paint out a mask. Make sure we get everything.
Easy, Scott. See you back on the voice channel.
Welcome to Midnight Hour.
That's it.
I'm taking you all the way to 6 in the morning.
Let's call that skull base.
Yeah, do my old midnight radio station or whatever. Radio show.
Trucking with Scott.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow, it's really taking shape now.
Thanks, man. Right, so we're gonna turn the skull off, because what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get a really nice blend up into that purple. Maybe I should take the flowers. Yeah, I probably should, because they actually look really good. So we're gonna put them on a separate layer. Let's turn off contiguous. Let's just get this all selected really quick. Yeah, nice. We'll just copy and paste them. Flower base. Turn them off. Right, here we go. So the aim here is we're gonna get some nice blending. Let's drop this down around about 30%. Let's drop the flow as well. The flow gives us a really nice blend. So yeah, there we go. Look at that. Let's get some kind of opacity.
So this Harris Heller, he's like the low fly. What's that fella's name? Kevin MacLeod?
McLeod. Yeah.
McLeod. Yeah. He's had hits all night, hasn't he?
Well, this whole playlist is him. He's the only
music
artist.
miner as well. On YouTube as well. He used to do a load of covers.
Who, Harris?
Until that went up the spout, and he sort of transitioned into streaming and gaming and stuff like that. But he still does music. He does music streams as well.
Hip dude.
Yeah, he's a very cool guy.
Well, he's gotten me off my ass to stream, so. So if you asked me to do that, say 2 months ago, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have the gumption to do it.
Scott, I don't know if you saw in your Discord, I was having trouble on your Twitch stream. Your trucking.
Yeah, that's looking nice.
Yeah, you were?
Yeah, I was following and I was signed in, but for some reason I couldn't see your chat and I couldn't comment or anything.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably my end, but yeah.
I'll double check and see if I may have the bot may have banned you. Let's have a quick look. It has happened before.
I just came straight in with the big swears.
Yeah.
drop
No, I
that
don't see
down.
anything. Nah.
It's probably it might be like an ad block or something on mine. Then I'll have it.
Well, I had a friend of mine. She was like really excited to watch like the YouTube stream I did last week. And she's like, I can't comment on nothing. I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, what's going on? And I looked on my ban list, and the bot had banned her. Like, oh, that's awkward.
Did it give a reason?
No, it's just I think she may have said something in there that flagged it, and it just shut it down. That's YouTube's version of it, though, so it's probably still glitchy.
Matt, well, just watching anything. What was you doing there? Like, you've drawn a box around it, and then you're painting inside it. Does that mean the paint won't go over that line?
Correct. Yeah. So I
It's like shadowing.
yeah. So I'm just as I'm blending, I watched a stream a while ago of some comic book artists, and a lot of the way they do shading very, very quickly is they just use the elliptical marquee. They'll just draw an area like that, and then they can just shade inside of it. Hang on, let me show you. So they'll just shade inside an area like that, and then once you deselect it, you've then got a shaded area. It's really, really smart way of getting some shading down very, very quickly. So actually these little bats, I'll shade them the same way. So let's go and grab that, I think. Too much. Drop it down. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect.
And then with the skull, are you putting the skull back over or not?
Yes, the skull is now on a separate layer, so
Gotcha.
selecting what colour for the eyes of the bat. We're gonna go yellow, or are we gonna go red?
Got you red.
Gotta be red. But I don't know if it was a rhetorical question. The man
Yeah.
knows what he's going to do.
All right, do you know what? You fellas called it. It's going red. Ah, that's a good shout. That was a good shout.
Well, what is a man? Obviously a miserable pile of secrets.
Obviously a miserable pile of secrets. So there we go. We can whack the skull back in on top of that. That's looking pretty choice. We've got really dark around that skull. Yeah, that was all right. Actually looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with that. I feel like I want to do on the back here though. I want to shade up some of these sections of the moon. So I'm just gonna kind of randomly make some shapes. Put this down real. No, less. No, actually that's about right, I think.
Isn't it depressing where you're taking so much time on this thing, and when you put it up on Teespring, it's going to get compressed to absolute shit.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, because the one and only time I tried to make a logo for myself, that happened. I was like, oh man, I spent like 2 hours on that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's worse when you're trying to put something on like Twitter, because Twitter's really unfair with its compression. I'm not sure about that bit now.
Honestly, I think I need someone to do a design for my channel, because I'm just using like the stock assets right now.
Asset flipping.
It's not even that. It's just like, oh, that looks good. I'll use that. You know.
That's fine. Like that is a totally fine thing. Like they're there for that reason.
Well, it's the same with thumbnails. I've been experimenting with stuff, and yeah, I see you do the flashy thing like most SAS do on YouTube. But I try to have a conceited effort on my Metal Gear one, and that's had barely any look at. But if I do like a dumb one I put together in Photoshop for like in 30 seconds, that's the one that seems to attract everyone. Yeah, ironic.
Yeah, I feel that actually. I've been putting a lot of work into my thumbnails lately. I do like, I think it's one of the things I actually enjoy about making YouTube videos is I like making the thumbnails. But it's definitely, it can be quite disheartening. Like I just started redoing a bunch of my thumbnails recently. I don't know if you saw, but every now and again I'll just look back over an old thumbnail and I'll go, oh, that's just awful. That's got to go. And I won't be able to get it out of my mind until it's done, until I've actually done that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I seem to try to do a professional one with logo and branding stuff. They don't go anywhere. But if I do like a dumb meme one, works fine.
Yeah, I guarantee it. It's like the one you like the least as well. That'll be the one that people go, oh yeah, that's the one they respond to.
That's what your boy said about thumbnails are fun and After Effects. Oh god,
I do quite like a bit of After Effects as well.
I don't anymore.
No?
Well, I can't really use it anymore because I've transitioned to DaVinci.
Oh, okay.
And their version of After Effects is actually pretty cool, but it's very complicated.
Right.
Nah, I got fed up paying like £250 to Adobe every year.
That's entirely fair. That is entirely fair. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Right, I think we can just do think these candlesticks, well, these candle flames, let's go really high.
I got to run, mate. I look forward to seeing the final product.
Okay, mate, thank you. Thanks for joining.
Rest of your time. No, no worries. Happy to be here. See you later, Scott.
Yeah, see you later, Ralph.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's do the same here.
Give it a little tickle. Oh, yes, that's nice.
That's it. That's it. Don't be afraid of being a little sexual when you talk about your artwork. Don't be afraid. There's no shame at this table. Yeah, look at that. That's it. Get some nice little... And then we'll do a bit more here.
Wow, that is an acronym. I've just been followed on Twitter by Retina, which is the home of Resident Evil theories, insights, news, and analysis.
Wow.
Just rolls right off your tongue.
I'll say. Let's go full on. Yeah. That's good. That's nice. And then a little bit there. Glowing. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just fix that bit there because it's slightly imperfect. With my 23% brush, that seems pointless. Oh no, yeah, Zolty Boy, you can feather the edges of your selection. Yeah, no, I kind of like the hard. I like some of the hard edges on that. I'm not gonna actually touch those. I'm gonna leave them the way they are. So I like to see these. I like to see the brush strokes. I like to see the work. I like to see those little lines. Oh, this is looking really choice. I'm gonna leave some of these kind of edge bits as well. And then I think we'll do some at the very end. I think we'll do some kind of like spattery. Like noise, I think. And that'd be good. Let's just put a little bit of colour in there. Yeah, look at that. That's great. That is great. I don't think that needs any more. That's really tidy. Still undecided what we're going to do with this candlestick. We're going to leave it for now. That's what we're going to do. We're now going to do these flowers.
No gravestones then.
Oh no, there aren't any gravestones. Unless this kind of slab with the wording could be a gravestone. It's like the one horror trope I've not managed to put on here.
Well, it's like the intro of Super Castlevania 4.
Yes. That's good. Just going to pull that in here so you guys can see. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find where that here, isn't it? It's here. Oh, that's a shame because that looks really good like that. I'd really like to just get a mask set up for that. Nah, we can do that later. Let's not worry about it. Let's not kill ourselves over that. So, chances of me finishing this drawing tonight, I just realised, looking at the time, it's pretty slim. I'm not going to stream all night. I want to spend some time with Lottie this evening, so I'll probably be ending the stream relatively soon. But this has gone so well, I don't think it'll be long before I do another one. This has been really, really fun, and it's been really great to be able to share this with you all, and for everyone to be so receptive. I'm really, really kind of proud of you guys. I'm really proud to have people around that responded so positively to this. I know when I put it out on Twitter, I know not everybody was very keen on the idea, but the majority of people said it sounded like fun. And that's enough for me. I mean, I think I was going to do it anyway, to be fair with. Even if it had been overwhelmingly in the negative, I probably still would have given it a go because it's my channel and I do what I want.
I think I'll just stick to Euro Truck Simulator.
Mate, I love Euro Truck. I loved watching you play it earlier as well. Like that to me seems like such a chill game.
Yeah, it is. I haven't really played it until recently, and I think I was watching another streamer play it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. I've had it in my Steam library for years, and yeah, it's been like the therapy game.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Sultan. Yeah, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. You've been here for the whole time. I think you're one of the few people who's been in the chat from the start. Who do we still have, by the way? Who's still here? Sam, you still about? You still chilling? To be fair with everybody, I kind of expect Sam to be around. It's a bit unfair of me, but I get a bit upset if Sam's not on the stream. Sam was with me for 11 hours when I did my first charity stream. The whole shebang, beginning to end. What a hero. I should give him an honorary YouTube membership. I should pay it for him.
Saying now I've got a charity stream coming up as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, with a group called the Cartridge Club. They're like a bunch of Canadian gamers.
Nice.
And every year they do a 20... Well, it's split into 2 days now because of the virus.
Right.
They normally do a 24-hour stream for Extra Life.
Got ya.
And this time it's been split in half. I think it's going over the 5th and 6th of December. And I'll be on at 9 a.m. in the morning in GMT. Because it's there. Like, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for them. So I'm doing the graveyard shift.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've never done a 24-hour. I don't think I could. I said I did 11 hours before for charity, and I did 8 last Halloween, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, I was part of a 24-hour stream with a load of friends ages ago, a couple of years ago now, but I was only there for like 4 or 5 hours. Then I got pissed drunk and passed out, so...
Excellent.
I don't know if there's any footage existing, but they're trying to get me to play Smash Bros. And I don't play Smash, and I definitely don't do it while being smashed.
I I'd love to spend the time to get good at Smash.
Well, I've been spending most of my downtime trying to remember Tekken.
Oh yeah, nice.
And my God, I don't know if my reaction speeds have dulled since playing. I think the last one I played was Tekken 5. But yeah, man, it's a lot.
I never really went for Tekken. I was a Street Fighter kid all the way.
Me too. I used to love fighting games growing up, and one of my introduction was Street Fighter 2 on the SNES.
Yeah, man. Oh, Zoltan's going. Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, get your editing in. Have a good night. Get a good night's sleep. Don't forget to hydrate. All that good stuff. Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I'll put up the finished thing on Twitter probably. I probably won't stream the finishing of it, but I will put up the finished thing on Twitter, and then the t-shirt will go up onto Teespring at some point. Thanks very much, man. Yeah, take care of yourself. Thanks for joining me tonight. Yeah, so for me it's the same. Like Street Fighter was like my entry into fighting games, and it wasn't even like as a kid. Like I had Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, but I was never like mad on it. But I got a job when I was 22. I got my first ever job in the games industry, and I was working with a whole bunch of people who were just insanely into Street Fighter, and so I got into it through them because their enthusiasm for it was so strong. I was like, yeah, it's kind of an infectious level of enthusiasm. I was like, oh, this is cool, and I was like, I want that. I want to join in. I want to be, So I started playing with these guys, and that was really my first real like getting really into Street Fighter thing, where I'd actually try to actually learn, not just learning all the special moves, but learning how to actually be good at the game.
Yeah. My experience was Street Fighter 2 as well. Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat 2 were like my main games for a long time. I just played those constantly on the Mega Drive, and then moved on when the PlayStation came around. That's when Tekken hit, and that sort of took over all the other fighting games for a while until I went back to Third Strike and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then after that I kind of just dropped off of fighting games.
Right.
And a lot of Virtual Fighter as well. Played that quite a bit too. And I don't know why. That was it for me. And I've come back and played them casually, but not to the level I used to. And now I'm like, you know what? I've got a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
Let's play some Tekken again. And I was only playing just arcade matches against the computer yesterday just to get used to it again. But I was like, man, I'm so out of like practice and out of whack. And especially now, if I start playing online, that game's been out for nearly 4 years. I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah, there's no doubt you'll be getting bodied if you're playing online. If you try and play like Street Fighter 4 online now, it's insane. Like, 5's bad enough, but like the people who are still playing 4 are really good at it. Like it is almost pointless playing it unless you're very, very good.
It's not even the winning or losing anymore. I just see if I can hang.
Yeah.
Because maybe 35, but to most of Street Fighter fans, I'm like fucking 80. Oops, swearing. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of Euro Truck just to calm down.
Yeah, man, I'm loving that. That's a really strong. Like, it just seems like such a chill experience. I've never played it. I've always seen other people play, but I was watching you earlier and I was like, this just seems so relaxing. I love having a drive anyway. Like, I like just driving my car around when I'm feeling upset, but yeah, that seems even better.
Well, I don't even have that. I picked it up and it's the same. It gets me in the same way as Elite Dangerous. I don't play Elite to do the dogfighting or anything like that. I just explore or be a space trucker.
Nice, yes.
And that's sort of like the same sort of thing. All right, visually they're completely different. Elite is a lot more visually appealing than Euro Truck, but they do have the same calming effect.
Yeah, sure.
Especially when you match it with the Death Stranding soundtrack,
Ooh.
which oddly matches.
Is that what you were listening to earlier when you were playing it? Is that what the soundtrack was?
No, that was.
I was going to say, that was like... That sounded very modern, very vaporwave.
It's all Harris Heller's synthwave.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I was thinking about it, but I don't want to get my Twitch channel shut down. Well, I just started it.
Yeah. You can sometimes get away with game music, can't you? But there's no guarantees, I guess.
Well, it's more just Rhea trying to lock down people using licensed music.
Yeah.
Well, what we was talking about before, the guitarist of Dragon Force got his channel taken down, playing his own music. Like, what?
They think they're helping out. They think they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I think he got his channel back now, but when I read that, like, yep, that's irony.
So for anyone still in the chat, still kind of staying on, I'm colouring these with the kind of mindset of imagining the light source is like, it's just kind of up and to the left here. But I'm not labouring over it because it doesn't really matter if I don't get it right. But I only want to really hit the very, very tips of this because I don't want the whole thing to look really bright. It isn't the focal point of the image, so I don't want people to be focusing on it too much. Yeah, look at that. I'm happy with that big one. That came out really nicely. What I would like to do though is this bit here. This very edge bit. I think we're going to get some highlight there. Yeah, tidy. That's all we want. Just something really simple. Just kind of tells the story. And that's all. Very, very simple stuff. One thing I found when I did again, as mentioned before, when I did the Rando, illustration, I felt like I overshaded it, and I feel like it's lost on a t-shirt design. You look at some of the great t-shirt designs. They're really clean, really simple. Some of them don't really have shading at all. They're just very simple, bold colours. It's very important to remember that, I think, when you're kind of thinking of, if you think about where your product is going to end up or where your drawing is going to end up. On a t-shirt, it's really good just to make sure you get a really nice, just bold colour. Don't worry too much about blending or anything too heavily. It isn't going to help. So we're just getting some nice shapes, really. Shading is something that I used to really struggle with, and that's been something that part of my more recent process has been improving the way I think about light and improving the way I think about tone. Because it's really easy to say, just think about where the light hits. That's what everyone says, just think about where the light hits. And you're like, well, if it was that easy, why are there so many people struggling to shade things in? And so, Sam's back. Yes, mate. Hello. Put this on a shirt and sell that shirt in purple. All right. That's what we're doing. I mean, the idea is this will be a shirt, Sam. So you're in luck, bud. I'm glad you're back, though. Glad you're back. Yeah, so it's a weird thing. You know, watch art videos, and a lot of times people assume that you already have a certain level of ability. And I found that shading's one thing that I used to struggle with getting my head around how it all works. And it is a very simple thing of, you know, light tones go at the top, dark tones go at the bottom. But sometimes it isn't that easy. You need to remember there's quite a lot of more rules to it than just simply put light at the top, put dark at the bottom. Oh, that looks nice. Look at the way that came out. That came out really nice. Really simple amount of shading on that. I'll put some more here. I'll put some here. That's actually better than its neighbour. Well, keep moving. Keep moving. But yeah, I always have to remember that when you have a line like this at the bottom here, this line, you never want to have two shades from the same side. Look, like here, like if I did this, you'd say, oh, well, this is shaded at the bottom, but this is also shaded because it's lower down. But you realise it doesn't make any sense to do that. So sometimes you have to kind of just fake. Just kind of, you're not trying to make it look realistic. You're trying to give the illusion of contrast. And so you might think about realistic shading. Forget it. You're not trying to go for realism. You're just trying to go for contrast, and you're trying to go for something which looks interesting, visually appealing. So forget the idea of delivering realism. It doesn't help your work, and I don't believe it helps your mental state to try to deliver realism. What you want to do all the time is just deliver something fun, deliver something that people are going to enjoy to look at. So that's what we've got here. See, just either side of the line, always make sure. That's all. Simple stuff. Simple stuff always. I'm not a particularly smart man, so things which are too complex, they go over my head. So everything has to be very, very simple. I'm not about to make things hard for myself. So there we go, that's that. So bang a bit of that there. Bit of that there. See either side of that, that's nice. Kind of yeah, that's nice. Really happy with the way this brush came out. I can't say enough good things about this brush. Put a touch there as well, I think. Maybe there? Look at that. Those flowers look really good. Oh man, Red Scott Sam installing Dark Forces 2 on a new PC. Yeah, I hope this stream does help you remain calm, because installing Dark Forces 2 is a very stressful experience. I actually recently reinstalled it because I did some I actually was grabbing some models out of the game to use in thumbnails, and so I've got like a mod viewer, and I was exporting the meshes. So I'd not installed it to play, but I thought, oh, do you know what? I've got it installed. I'll just boot it up, and then I remembered all of the DG voodoo jiggery pokery that I had to do last time. So yeah, it didn't last long. I just got out of there. I got out of Dodge quick.
Unless he's downloading the GOG version, which makes life a lot easier.
Oh, there's no fun in that though, is there, Scott?
Yeah, but I'm getting to the point now where, like, screw it, it just works.
Yeah, I completely understand that. Make sure we've got the right blue. Ah, yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's a hair tearing out experience. Like Dark Forces 1, easy peasy, just DOSBox, and it's just like completely simple out of the box process. But yeah, Jedi Knight is a nightmare. Oh, that looks nice, the way those three colours intersect like that. That looks good.
I also got the Jedi Knight ports on the PS4, which I bought just for the hell of it.
Oh, nice.
They actually work quite well, but playing it with a controller is weird.
I can believe that.
I wouldn't say I'm heavily versed in those games. I did play Jedi Knight 2 quite a bit on the Xbox, but
yeah,
I couldn't get my head around using the controller. It'd probably be fine if you got used to it, but no.
It's on the Switch as well.
Yeah.
Do you know, that's amazing.
Everything's
Kids today don't know they're born.
Well, especially No More Heroes 1 and 2, which really Grinds my gears.
Yeah.
I don't have the Switch anymore.
Oh, okay.
Just bring them out on PS4 or PC. That'll do. Well, I could play the PS3 port of the first game. No.
Right, I reckon once I've done with these blue flowers, I'm going to end the stream. So we're probably calling it a couple of minutes now.
I'm going to drop out anyway, get some sleep.
Okay, mate. Well, thanks for joining. It's been absolutely
Yeah,
great of you
right.
to come along. You've made it really, really good for me because I was really nervous. So I'm really glad that you turned up.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah, keep going.
I will do that, man.
Right, see you later.
Have a fantastic night. See you later, mate.
Bye.
Do you know what? Maybe. Oh, that came out nice. So let's think about the way that light's falling. That would be like that, right? If the light's coming from this direction, that would be, yeah, I think we'd have shadow there. And then maybe, do you know what? Maybe just, yeah, and then we'd have a bit, yeah, look at that. Yeah. Oh, man. Beautiful. Let's just get the, oh, yeah, like, yes, like that. Beautiful. And then maybe same kind of vibe there. Yeah, look at that. Really nice the way those colours cross over. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Didn't realise how late it had got, everyone. Once you start streaming, I mean, especially when I'm doing art like this, I can get so lost in it. It's good to check in with yourself, make sure you're not overworking, make sure you're hydrating. You notice that Lottie brought me a drink up earlier because I am bad at hydrating. I think that looks really good. Just want to make sure we get enough bright blue in here that the whole thing balances out nicely. And that definitely needs to be bright. Oh yeah, like that. And then yeah, really tasty. And then this really bright blue here. Think about these like peonies, they're kind of like papery. It's really crinkly texture. It's really nice to try and maybe bring a little bit of that out in the colouring. Yeah, look at that. That looks really tasty. Lovely bright blue. Alright, let's have a look at that. I think on balance they look really nice. They look really, really nice. Really pleased. Oh, do you know what? Zoomed out like that, they look really good. This one on the left looks a little bit wonky, but I'm cool with that. So if we bang the rest of this colour base on, you can kind of get an idea, you know, with the skull in there. You can really get an idea of where this is going. Yeah, really pleased with that. Obviously the whole colour blocking is really, really messy, but I think I think that's going to come out really nice. I think this, I'm looking down at this bottom part here. This colour's going to change. I think this text is going to end up being white. And this block here may end up changing colour. But I think where we reach tonight, with this bright red moon and these purple bats, they're perfect. I think the candles are pretty much perfect. Yeah, this has been really, really good. Let's get a Control S on that. I don't remember the last time I did that was. It was probably about an hour ago. Thanks, Sam. Thank you. I'm really happy with that. I do feel really good about that. This is the point where I'm going to end the stream, though. It's 10:30. I've been doing this for like 3.5 hours now. It's definitely time to stop. My hand hurts. And I feel like we made a really good progress. We've got all that outline done. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining. It was really good. Thanks for dropping back in, Sam. I'm sorry that we're stopping at this point. I hope you're going to be okay installing Jedi Knight now. Let me know how it goes. Like, drop in the Discord and let me know how you're getting on. I'm always interested to talk about that game. Well, thanks very much, everyone. I had a lot of fun doing this. I think we'll do this again. Maybe do something smaller. Maybe like next time I could do some emojis, maybe some Discord. Oh my god, the brightness. Some Discord emojis, maybe something we can actually finish on stream. That'd be quite fun. But this is going to be done soon, and then it'll be up in the shop, so you'll be able to buy it. So that'd be brilliant. Thanks, everyone. It was great. I'm gonna spin off. I'll leave the chat open, so I'll still be around for 5 minutes answering chat. But yeah, thanks very much, everybody. Cheers. Take care. Ta-da.